And a good afternoon to your before noon, 1 hour before noon to you. It is the midday show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. Joik Bell is still on his week-long birthday celebration extravaganza. He is being fed grapes right now by some exotic women wearing a loincloth. I don't know why he snapped me that this morning, but, you know, that's what Joik's up to today.
Damn, I gotta add Joik on Snapchat.
My name is Stick. My man Easy is with me on the desk today, filling in. Easy Terry Foster will be sitting in tomorrow, so you'll be doing a show with him. That'll be fun.
That's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, the GOAT, Terry Foster. And yeah, overall, the team is all here. Make sure if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, you're interacting, you're liking, you're sharing, you're retweeting, all those good things, because it really helps Woodward Sports get our name out there and let everybody know that we are the new sports voice in Detroit, especially for the Detroit sports fan.
We here!
As Easy says, we here. Art is in producer land, making sure we look good today. Kennedy is sitting over there doing socials on the couch. She looks good every day. And then, of course, Mr. Fish and his snarky remarks will be a part of the show all day long right here on the Woodward Sports Network. So, big night last night, Easy. You know, like normally when free agency rolls around, sometimes you wait a day. Yeah. Sometimes you wait a couple weeks. Sometimes you don't even pick up your free agent till like a month into free agency once everybody else, and you just kind of, it's like going to TJ Maxx. Like you're picking off the leftover rack. But the Pistons made moves almost immediately yesterday. And they picked up, I don't want to say a guy that doesn't push the bar that much, but they picked up a piece of the puzzle in Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah, man, he's really going to benefit Cade and Killian in that pick and roll play, pick and pop, I should say, with this guy. Kelly Olynyk shoots really well from three. You got to think, too, he was with Miami last year when they were in the finals.
Right.
He filled in for Bam Adebayo pretty well, I'd say, honestly. Like it almost was like, I mean, obviously you miss Bam's like defensive presence, but like other than that, like he filled that void pretty well.
Yeah, one thing we were talking about a little bit earlier is just this kind of sets the tone for what the Pistons are going to look like going forward, right? Like if they would have gone after like a lockdown defender or a big man that kind of just stays in the lane and takes up space, then we knew what kind of team they were going to be. We want to slow the game down. We want to play rough defense, and that's how we're going to control and get our victories. With this signing, it indicates to me that Troy Weaver and Dwayne Casey want to open up the offense.
Oh, yeah.
Want to spread the floor, give Cade space, let him have his room. Because as you see and as you mentioned, Kelly shoots about 40% from three-point land. And that's damn good for anybody, let alone a big man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's damn good. And like you said, the stretching and spacing of the floor is kind of like the new way of the NBA. Ever since I feel like the Warriors kind of like shocked the world, with their title run there too.
Yeah, changed the game.
Yeah, they
literally changed the game of basketball.
Absolutely, and now you have two guys who can shoot, in Killian and Cade, as well as feed the guys balls in their spots as well. So I think we're gonna get some shooters, and that's what I expected. That's what I was looking. Remember we talked about it yesterday. I said I want shooters on this team. Also, hey, there's Nerlens Noel as a big man. Well, look what we did. We got both.
Right.
We got a shooter and a big man in Kelly Olynyk.
Why not to get both?
Yeah.
And that's what we got. And not only that, like Olynyk, he's a tough-nosed player. Like you look at him, you look at this dude right here, and it's like, all right, long hair, weird goatee, headband. Like he ain't gonna mess with anybody. But then you see him on the court, and I don't want to call him a dirty player, but he's an aggressive player.
For sure. He's from Canada. That's where basketball was invented.
that is so crazy to me, too.
It is wild.
Let's see. Olynyk exploded on a rebuilding Houston team that let him focus on his offensive times, averaging 19 points a game, 8.4 rebounds, 4.1 assists during his 27-game stint with the Rockets, and plus, as the aforementioned, can't get that out, 40% shooting beyond the arc, which is awesome.
That is amazing. And another thing, too, I'd like to point out, health. This guy's playing in almost every game. You know what I'm saying? It's not usually the case with a lot of these big men. Usually they can't make it full season. He seems to be pretty healthy. He has less miles on him, too.
And what's the best ability?
availability.
Hey, there it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, like if you can't play, it doesn't really matter how good you are because you're not on the court. Like you could be the best, player in the world, but you could throw it back to like every high school athlete ever. Like I would have made it if it wasn't for this injury. It's like, nah, you would have made it if you were good.
that is a sob story of like every high school athlete.
And I'm one of those guys. Like I talk about my knee surgery all the time, but still, even though I had knee surgery, I wasn't going pro. This came across my timeline last night, and I thought it was very interesting because everybody looks at AD as a god, right?
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, AD's the man. But outside of points per game, Kelly's got him in every category.
You want to hear the craziest thing, too, is like this is in less time played. Like, yeah, you're going to get the higher numbers, obviously, and the percentages because of that. But, like, the averages and the rebounds and the points would be up there, too. Like, AD's playing monumentally more minutes than Kelly Olynyk. You know what I'm saying? He's way more crucial, I guess, to his team in a victory. So for him to average, like, those numbers in less minutes, you got to like that.
You know what stat I didn't see up there, though, was blocks. Like, that's one thing I'd like to know about Kelly Olynyk is how many blocks does he average? Because, obviously, he's not going to be Ben Wallace getting 2.5 blocks a game. But as long as he's there altering shots, because that's one thing that Anthony Davis has that a lot of people don't and will never show up on a stat sheet, is just how many shots he makes the people adjust and change. And, they end up missing them. It doesn't go down as a block. It doesn't really go down as anything on the defensive stat sheet. But, he's impacting the game in every single way. And hopefully Olynyk can do that for us with the Pistons.
Yeah, I'm looking to. I have the numbers right here in front of me. He's never actually averaged an actual block throughout the entire season. But I did look in the playoffs last year because that's where Miami did make that run. Obviously, it was team ball, which I'm assuming we're going to be playing here in Detroit.
Ooh.
Hey, yo, what was that?
Hey-o.
Okay.
White chocolate coming through.
Yo, that was nice. I did not expect that. He knocks him down, though. Like, honestly, like, he's got the touch.
Dude, you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of the movie White Men Can't Jump. Like, if this dude rolled up to a court and you had to pick your team, it's like, you know what? If I had to pick my other team, give him the chump, man. And then he shows out and balls out like that. Like, he's not a chump by any stretch of the imagination. The dude proved in the NBA he could put up damn near 20 points a game. So scoring is going to be a major focus of the Pistons this year. I like the way they're going to be able to spread the floor now with Olynyk.
Yeah.
The question is, who's out of that starting five that we were so high on? Or is Olynyk our first six man off the bench?
I think he's the first 6 man off the bench, honestly. I mean, you got to look at this, too. Like, we can't call for more minutes for guys like Beef Stew and then, like, be disappointed with a signing like this, because this signing means those minutes are going to go to Beef Stew. We are going to see these young guys develop off the bench. We have Grant at the 4 now. Sekou, I mean, I can't really speak to what he's going to see. I'm not sure what he's going to be as a pro. I know a lot of people are higher on him than I am personally, but, I mean, you can't, have your cake and eat it too, is the saying?
That is it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys can't, like, want Beef Stew to be a starter and get more minutes, but be upset when we sign Kelly Olynyk. Because if we sign any other vet above him, odds are Stewart's not starting. I mean, like you said, we're not even sure if he's starting right now with Olynyk in the lineup.
Yeah. Once again, I think it goes back to it's nice. We have options now. So, like, if we're playing a team that we need to stretch the offense and we need a team that we don't have to necessarily have a lockdown defender, you start Olynyk. If we're playing the Bucks and we got to, body up Giannis, you start Beef Stew to get in his shit and, make him uncomfortable. So I like that we have some interchangeable parts here. And obviously one of the big things that Troy Weaver talked about with Cade, too, is he's the ultimate connector. So you can put all these different parts around him, and he's going to find a way to make it work.
Absolutely. That's why I'm so high on this signing, because of Kelly Olynyk's shooting percentage and Cade's ability to get guys open in their spots. Like, Kelly's not going to do much but stand those corner threes. I'm saying Cade's going to get the ball where all these guys are good at, not just Olynyk. Killian is going to get the ball in spots he's good at. He's going to get Beef Stew the ball in spots where he's good at. Like, that's the plus side of Cade and Killian too.
Yeah,
they're not selfish guys at all.
It's got to be such a relief for Killian right now to not have to bear the burden of being the face of the franchise anymore.
Bro, he didn't seem comfortable in it at all last year either.
Right.
He wasn't that aggressive. It took him some time to get going, even before the injury.
Yeah, well, he only had, 6 games before the injury or something like that.
Yeah.
And, those were not banner 6 games. But when he came back, you could tell that, he was starting to slow down. The game was starting to come to him a little bit. And I think we're going to see even more of that now that Cade's the man. Like, Cade is not only the face of the Pistons, he's essentially the face of Detroit right now.
Yeah.
Like, he was walking around Birmingham the other day, and just a swarm of people were around him everywhere he goes. He goes to Comerica Park. You know, Nick Lundy hunts him down and finds him. And, like, honestly, we haven't had that type of face and that type of presence here in a very, very long time. Stafford was the face of the Lions, but the personality, like, didn't embody the city, right?
He didn't have one. It was like...
Right.
Yeah, he sheltered it. And now all of a sudden he goes to L.A., he's fucking doing every interview. He's Mr. Personality. He's on national TV doing them. Like, what the hell?
Right. But even when we had, like, the going to work Pistons, that was a team, right?
Yeah.
There was really no one guy that was leading that operation and no one guy that was the face. I guess Ben Wallace is probably the closest because everybody had the froze on, the armbands and stuff like that. But people are going to emulate Cade in so many ways. Like those buffs that we've been giving away on our social media, and we'll give away another pair of buff-like sunglasses today. So make sure you're following us at Woodward Sports. But those are going to become like the symbol. And, you know, his presence and the way he talks. Like, I love that this guy is the face of Detroit right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a name to say, you know, would be the face of Detroit other than him.
Sue was a little bit back in the day.
We're talking like right now, though.
Yeah.
I can't, even though he hasn't touched the court yet, I think you're actually right. He's the kind of the face of Detroit sports right now.
Let's see. If we look at the Tigers, you got Casey Mize.
Yeah.
Mize could be the face, but Cabrera's still the face of the Tigers, essentially.
And not everybody loves baseball like they do basketball and football either.
Right. And hockey, Larkin is kind of the face, but really Stevie Y is the face.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Larkin was a hot commodity. He kind of took a step back from like that. People aren't as in love with him as they used to be, I feel like.
I mean, we love him. He's a hometown boy from Waterford. Like, you can't not love the guy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, he's not transcendent like Cade.
Who is the face of the Lions, would you say? He's kind of up in the air right now, huh?
Right now, Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
I mean,
athlete-wise, it's got to be Cade. Face of Detroit. He hasn't even touched the court yet. That's crazy.
Right. You think about that. Like, if Detroit had a Mount Rushmore right now, Cade would be the number one guy you put on it.
Yeah.
Miggy a little bit here.
I just said Miggy. He's the face of the Tigers.
Okay, but like someone that hasn't even played yet versus
that's good.
a legend that's been here.
Right, but
so we have two people who didn't even think of it though. So is he really?
The buzz around Miggy right now is not the buzz that's around Cade. Like Cade's the new shiny toy in town.
He's got a little bit though. We've got the Mickey Miles up there.
Yep.
I mean.
No, I agree. He's on Mount Rushmore. He definitely is.
He's on there.
He's on there. But right now, Cade is everything to this city.
Yeah.
If in the chat,
I really hope it pans out because that would be embarrassing.
Oh my God, we're all gonna feel like that.
Could you imagine?
Especially us talking him over Miggy right now too. Like that would not age well at all.
Yeah, that is the worst part about having these conversations live and filmed. We could go back a year from now and know that. But the good news is, if you're right, you can always go back and clip it and be like, "Aha, nailed it! Where were you on that one?"
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's how I feel about my Halliburton pick from last year when we were watching the draft
party.
Dude,
you did not let that go. I remember.
I'll never let it go because I was right about it.
Yeah.
Well, not right about it. We'll see what happens with Killian. We still like Killian.
For sure. Comment who you guys think's the face of Detroit sports right now. I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, if we had to do Mount Rushmore of Detroit sports right now, who are you going to put in it? We're going to take some of your comments coming back next, but start thinking about it, start letting us know, and I want you to come up with two other names because right now we got Cade, we got Miggy.
Okay.
So who from hockey and who from football would be on your Mount Rushmore right now for Detroit sports? We'll talk about that next on Woodward Sports.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America, Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
And welcome back to the Midday Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network, live streaming to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And then, of course, you can download our app, which is available right now for free in the Apple or Google Play Store. So make sure you download that today. Get it in your phone. It's a great app, real simple. Press play, and you get to listen to great Detroit sports coverage right here from Woodward Sports. So we were talking about the Pistons. We were talking about Kelly Olynyk, and then we got on Cade, and then we kind of evolved that into who's Detroit's Mount Rushmore of athletes right now.
Like
and
currently.
And so we got Cade for the Pistons, right?
Yeah.
We could check that off the list.
Okay.
We got Miggy for the Tigers. We could check that off the list because Mize really isn't there yet.
Yeah.
He should be the
But
future
but
face.
I see where you're going with. Yeah. Mize definitely
He's
the
the
hot
young
star.
face.
Exactly.
The young face. But Miggy's Miggy, baby. Like,
Exactly.
Miggy's the GOAT. I will never disrespect Miggy on this show. So who we talking football and who we talking hockey? Kennedy, do you got anybody that you want to add?
Yeah, give us your 4 sports.
Hockey, I would say Bertuzzi, just because Bertuzzi has been a household name here for a long time.
fair.
Because of his dad, though, not necessarily
Yes,
him.
but he's still not. We don't have someone on the Red Wings right now that's like
A staple.
blowing my mind.
Yeah.
So for now, I would go Bertuzzi because it's a household name. He still like has that like aggression of like, this is Detroit hockey. He's got the missing teeth. He's got the look. You know what I mean? So like the face would be great for the Mount Rushmore of Detroit. And then football, I want it like, if he does well, I'm going to hold off on this, but I hope it becomes Jamal Williams because he
too.
cracks me up.
He's so funny.
And like just the personalities of Detroit sports, I think it all would align very well up
Yeah.
there.
Are you on board with Cade as the face for the Pistons right now?
I am. I'm very on board. I loved what he said in all of his pressers thus far, and he's got the going to work mentality. So yeah. I think he's going to be great.
I seen a slogan actually come across Twitter last night. It was called this regime, or I guess I don't know what you call them. They're called the going back to work Pistons.
Going back to work.
Yeah.
After the layoff Pistons. Like out of COVID Pistons going back to work.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I don't care what moniker you give these guys as long as they play together as a team and as long as we get to watch some competitive and winning playoff basketball. Eventually they'll grow into their name and they'll get something like that because when Detroit sports are at their best, when we're the bad boys, when we're going to work.
Monikers, always involved.
And it's always about hard work. It's always about being a badass. So I'm sure it'll come up. Like, like the Cade Crusaders is, that's the T-shirt that we got right now at woodwardsports.com that's selling like crazy.
Yeah.
Like everybody loves that Cade Crusader T-shirt. So maybe it's like Cade Crusader and the Gotham Knights or something like that. Like eventually, I'm just throwing that out there. Please don't hold me to that. All right, Easy. Who you got from football? Who you got from hockey on your Mount Rushmore?
Football outside of Dan Campbell, I think Kennedy's on the ball with this one. I think I have to say Jamal Williams. Just because, like, the personality he exuberates. Like, he's already been in national media, like, twice now from just saying goofy things, and he's raw. I mean, obviously, Goff's the quarterback, and he may take that spot, like, quickly. And obviously, Hawk's probably the best player you want to look at.
Yeah, there you go.
But, like, how many Hawkinson jerseys do you see, like, around town or at the games? Like, even though he's a stud, he's not really, like, embraced that way.
Well, you saw Jared Goff, top 50 jersey sales in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
It was wild to be Lions jerseys.
That means Lions fans are buying in low-key, too. It's just kind of
wild.
Yeah, you guys, I mean, maybe you got it like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to hold back. I'm going to hold back till we re-up him on another contract maybe. But, yeah, probably Jamal Williams football. NHL, Red Wings right now, I'll probably go Larkin just because he's still, like, the name, the guy. You said hometown kid, good-looking kid.
Yeah,
As I hear from
captain.
Kennedy.
I mean, he's the captain.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, if you can't put the captain on Mount Rushmore, who are we putting on there?
Exactly.
So,
What about
yeah,
you?
for hockey, I'm definitely going Larkin.
Yeah.
To me, there aren't really many other choices that we can dive into right now. You hope some of these rookies that we drafted this year, and you hope – I would love to have a goalie as on Mount Rushmore for the Red Wings.
I like Nedeljkovic, man. I think he could be that guy.
Well, when we have good goalies, you win hockey games. Like, to me, hockey is a great sport, but a goalie swings a team so much further than any other position in any other sport.
Yeah, I think, what's D-Mac say? It's for the 3 keys to win a championship. I mean, he has 4 of them, so you would know. He says health, puck luck, and I think he says goaltending is the 3rd one, if I'm not mistaken.
See, and I love D-Mac.
Yeah.
This is hockey town. But that's why hockey was never really, like, my favorite sport growing up. Because what did you just list? Luck,
Yeah.
puck luck, and a good goalie, right?
Yeah.
And, the Red
not
Wings
the
have run
sexiest
into
recipe.
John Sebastian Jaguar before. And, the Ducks were a shitty team, but their goalie was on fire and we couldn't score, even though we outshot them 70-10 in the
Fleury.
game. Right. Like I've seen that so many times, and it's hurt so many times in hockey to where you're the better team. You have the better team, but they have the better goalie.
Yeah.
And that means they're the better team. And that's what I don't like. And like you said, puck luck. How many game-changing, series-changing goals happen off a tip? Happen off of deflection?
It's crazy shit to me. Yeah, when I see some of these goals, I'm like, there's no fucking way he meant to do that.
Right.
I'm like, what? There's no way.
But then when you got a guy like Thomas Holmstrom standing in front of the net that is really good like that and knows how to angle down the puck, you give him the credit because of their hand-eye coordination. What up, Art?
I'm going to do my best while holding this dick mic as best as I can. Some Corey Woods breaking news. Kenny Galladay's injured. He actually had to leave practice for the Giants. They're not saying what the actual injury is, but Tuesday was the team's first practice in full pads. On the first play of a 7-on-7 drill, Galladay dropped a pass from Daniel Jones, grabbed his left hamstring, left the field, and went inside with a trainer.
So most likely a hamstring injury, right?
Yeah, but it's just interesting. We've been talking about, Galladay and all this, and then he gets injured. So.
Well, not only that, Stafford got hurt yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't find that out till this morning.
Yeah,
I didn't
Stafford,
either.
real quick, Stafford only gets injured on days that end in Y, so that's not really. But Galladay getting injured, I mean, he's a powerful player. At least he was with the Lions, injured. So.
Well, you know what that does for my Dynasty fantasy team? It helps Kadarius Toney. I'll tell you that much. He's going to move on up the depth chart if Kenny Galladay is not playing. But no, Stafford yesterday in practice hurt his thumb that he had surgery on by throwing a pass and hitting it on the helmet of the guy in front of him.
Yeah.
So Stafford had to leave practice, and they don't know when he's going to throw again. And Galladay, obviously, like you said, pulled a hammy. His thumb.
And didn't Goff hurt his thumb when he was Conspiracy. I'm saying it right now. It's a thumb conspiracy.
Something about L.A. and them thumbs.
Wow, conspiracy.
So, okay, back to my Mount Rushmore. I need to get a football one in.
I'm curious for this one. We got.
I like Hawkinson.
Yeah.
But Ragnow's our dude, man.
Yeah.
He's the face of our offensive line, which is going to be the strength of the team. So I got to go with Ragnow on this.
I could see that. I mean, he has his own show on YouTube.
Yep.
He's been on the hook, so he's super famous from that, clearly.
Right.
No, I can see Ragnow.
Yeah, Ragnow's the man. That's mine. I got Cade, I got Miggy, Ragnow, and then, of course, the captain.
Going through this exercise made me wonder, are we delusional as fans? Because we're so, high on these teams right now, but then we just try to name,
We're like,
we try to name a couple of faces of the franchise. We're like, Miggy.
We're like the new guys.
From a success from 5 years ago. I'm like,
Shit.
oh, fuck, are we delusional a little bit?
A little bit, but
we haven't seen play yet.
But we're on the upswing, I mean.
That comes with the territory, of being a Lions fan. We just, we drink the Kool-Aid. That's what we do.
Hell yeah.
Last year, who would you have said for the Lions? Stafford?
Stafford.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not more sexy than Ragnow. I like big men.
You know who I think...
can we clip that?
I like big men. Especially you, Ragnow. Get in there, big sexy, and block for our new quarterback. Teach Penei Sewell how to handle the offensive line. Taylor Decker, get his ass in line.
That's what I was just going to say. That's the big man I think is sexy, is Taylor Decker.
Taylor Decker?
Taylor Decker?
It's the tattoos.
Yeah, it's the tattoos.
He's got some pretty sick
Even though he's got
tattoos.
an Ohio State tattoo on his arm?
She's an Ohio State
Hello,
fan, bro.
who are
What?
we talking to?
Yeah, she grew up in Ohio.
Gross. That's the only thing I don't like about Taylor Decker is that stupid-ass tattoo on his arm.
Jeff
wow.
Okuda's from Ohio State, too.
Yeah, but he's not tatted up. He doesn't have an O on his neck or something. Even though with Okuda it would make sense because his name starts with an O. So I would give that a pass.
That's a good point.
I would
is a
give
good
that
point.
one a pass. But, yeah. So that was who we would have on our Mount Rushmore of Detroit sports. If you guys got the 4 names you want, make sure you drop them in the chat right now. And coming up next, Matthew Stafford said he'd let down Detroit. Did you see this quote, Easy?
I did.
I thought it was an interesting quote. So we're going to talk about that coming up next. But you know what never lets you down? Our people at 8 Mile Vodka. That is where you need to go. Pick up the bottle at any of your local Meijer stores, and you can do it today. Or just go to your local watering hole and ask for 8 Mile by name. If they do not have it, they will order it for you, and it's a delicious cocktail. You can make anything. You want Bloody Marys? You do that. You want just some lemonade and some vodka, which I did over the weekend? again, that's a nice route too. So it's 8 Mile Vodka. Pick it up today with Woodward Sports.
Bridge Street Exchange, downtown Fenton. I'm trying to find me a shirt. Ooh, look at these swimming shorts. What are you doing over there, Stick?
I'm trying to find me a drink. Ooh, look at these bonfire bitters.
Ready for summer.
Let's go. Welcome back. It is the midday show right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick. Got my man Easy filling in.
What up, though?
Joik Bell is traditionally here, but it's his birthday week, so he is out. And we got a new show coming to the network, too, that everybody's around here is excited about. Ryan Ermani and Braylon, the legend Edwards, will be here doing a show every day, 2 to 4, on the Woodward Sports Network, and it is called The Bottom Line. Some of the things that they're going to discuss is going to be awesome because Braylon does not hold back. The thing you love about Braylon is he's honest, brutally honest.
Yeah.
And some people don't love that. I do.
I love it.
But, other people at his former university sometimes have told him, like, hey, bro, pull it back a bit. And one thing he doesn't have to do is pull back anything here at Woodward Sports. We're going to watch this? Let's watch it.
I've been a bit of a victim of my honesty at times, too. But it just makes communication clear. Like,
it's my truth.
Yeah.
It's my truth. And that's really it. Braylon's got big opinions. He's awesome. There's Ryan doing his thing, such a man of the people. He comes in here in Lady Jane's throughout the season, and there it is. The Bottom Line with Ermani and Edwards starting 8/12. So that's a week from Thursday right here on the Woodward Sports Network. People are asking about who the new co-hosts are going to be with Joik Bell. We'll have that all straightened out and announced, I believe, coming up next week. So we're making a few little adjustments, moving the thing around. But when you're a brand new product, you try new things, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're in the teenage years. We're trying a bunch of different drugs. There we go.
Yeah. Is that an authentic Dare shirt, or did you buy that separate?
No, I bought this at Meijer.
It's so crazy that Dare has become such a joke that you could buy that at Meijer.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing I cared about when Dare came into my grade school is if I could touch the cop's gun. Like, I always wanted to touch the cop's gun. It was the only thing I ever asked for. And they're telling us about weed and ecstasy and all this stuff, and it's like, I just want to touch your gun.
I found, like, some crazy shit, too. Is like, when they came through, I remember in high school, like, they showed off all the stuff you could hide, like, your weed in. Like, the little water bottles open up. And I'm just, like, learning shit more than I'm, like... I'm saying, like, you just gave me advice on how to hide my weed. Like, thanks.
That is the tricky thing. Also, the same thing with sex ed. Like, you start. When did you start sex ed? I think we started in the Walled Lake schools in 4th grade.
Yeah, I want to say like 5th or 4th grade. Yeah.
Right. So you're teaching 4th graders how to have sex.
Yeah.
Essentially, like, before that, if you asked me, I would have given you the exact wrong answer of what sex is and how it happens. Yeah. But after, sex education in 4th grade, it's like, I know how to handle this. Let's get to work. Kennedy, when did they teach you sex ed?
So I always went to Catholic schools, so I never got it.
Ooh.
Ever.
Wow.
It was always like you don't hear about condoms. It's like you do this, you're going to hell, and if you get pregnant and you get an abortion, you are also going to hell. And that was it.
Fear-based.
Yes, it was. They had a lot.
Did it work?
No. It worked. It would work for like a couple months. And I remember they gave us in high school these cards that they made us sign that for virginity. Like pledging.
Really? Do you still have yours?
No, I wish.
But that'd be an amazing post.
I wasn't by then, so I was like, fuck am I supposed to do with this? Giving this to me senior year of high school.
You signed like a different name.
I was like,
John Smith.
I just threw mine out because everyone was like
Doe.
cracking up at these people. We were all just laughing at them. Like, I don't think anyone signed
It'd
it.
be so sweet if you still had your virginity card and you
I
could just
had
whip it out like, brah, still got my virginity card right there.
No, but I had for a while what did the Jonas Brothers have? A purity ring.
Oh, God.
I had one in middle school, and then suddenly my mom was, what happened to that? I lost it.
You're like, well, Billy happened, and
I was like, it was not good.
Well, speaking of purity, our boy Matthew Stafford had a quote talking about how he let down Detroit, and he feels like he let down Detroit. Here's his quote. He was asked, any part of you feel like you let the franchise down? Stafford says, definitely. I sit here and go, man, I wish I could have gotten it done. I mean, it would have been amazing to have a Super Bowl parade down Woodward Avenue in Detroit. Didn't happen. Tough pill to swallow as a competitor and somebody who touches the ball on every single offensive play. You definitely look back and wish you had done a few things different here or there in some games. Maybe changes the outcome of some seasons, but I'm focused on completely forward now. I was very taken aback by this because Stafford's not the most candid guy in the world. Like, we never really got pure, like, answers out of him during press conferences, whenever he was talking to the media, after the games, going into the games. Like, he just really wasn't an open book for us. Yeah. So for Peter King to ask him this, and his initial word is definitely, I'm like, wow, that's telling that he feels as disappointed as a lot of us do here in Detroit.
No, man, it's you said something this morning, and I felt, I don't know, maybe it was Jeff. It was like, were your expectations, like, you know, do you feel bad that they didn't meet him? And the answer is like yes and no. Like, his expectations, I didn't expect him to do much. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, obviously, I wanted my team to win when the opportunities we had in the playoffs. I think the 3 times he's there with the Dallas and Seattle. But, like, my expectations of him after, like, 9 years of him saying, oh, this is the year he's coming, he's fully developed as a quarterback this year, like, no, my expectations were never that great of him. So, like, did he fail us? Ultimately, yes, because the goal is obviously championships, playoff wins, and stuff like that, and we didn't get that. But in terms of, like, what I truly expected realistically of him, like, no, I didn't expect – I expected the same as he always was after, like you said. Yeah, it was you this morning, but it's the 6th year. This guy is what he is.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, there's no shame in what Matthew Stafford is, right? Yeah. You know, I like to compare him to a Jay Cutler. And I know that seems offensive to people. Kind of. But it's not. Look at their careers. Look at what they were, you know, boasted as having. Big arms, right? They can make all the throws. You know, Jay Cutler, when he was in Denver, was the man. Then he came to Chicago, was the man. And that's kind of similar to what's happening with Stafford right now. And we're going to find out if Stafford can push the team over the top or not. But, and what we've seen in 12 years, it's not there. That being said, when we drafted him number 1 overall, I wasn't very, like, expecting him to take us to the moon. I was expecting good. We got a nice quarterback. We can build off this. But I never expected a championship out of him. So I'm not disappointed that he didn't deliver us one. I would have been elated had he delivered us one. I mean, like I say all the time, if the Lions ever win the Super Bowl, I'm going out to my driveway, flipping my own car, and setting it on fire. Like, that is that's my mission. I swear to God, if they get close, I'm going to start taking out some better insurance on my car because I'm going to burn that motherfucker to the ground. Dude, I cannot imagine if we ever win a Super Bowl. And yes, I wanted that for Stafford, but I never really expected that out of him. So I wasn't disappointed by that. I was more disappointed by, I wanted more of this Matthew Stafford. Yeah. Like, I wanted more, this is not enough. This is disappointing. I didn't do the job good enough, instead of, yeah, we'll get better. Yeah, next week, you know, we'll adjust some things in practice. Like, no. Obviously, I wasn't in the locker room, so I don't know if he got in teammates' asses or not. Yeah. You know, Joik says he was a good leader in the locker room, so I'll take Joik at his word. Yeah. But outside of that, I like a little more rah-rah in my quarterback. Like, look at Tom Brady. When shit goes wrong, Tom Brady throws a temper tantrum. Yeah. Like, you've seen him berate teammates. You've seen him berate coaches. You've seen him after the game just, like, avoid press conferences because he's so pissed off. I want that fire.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree on every single point with him, other than Jay Cutler. Come on, he's better than Jay Cutler.
Show me the stats.
All right.
Let's do this. You want to have this conversation? We can do this.
But no. I mean, this is how I feel he's different from Jay Cutler was interceptions. Stafford's definitely great at throwing pick sixes. Yeah, actually, we do that. That way I have to, like, multitask here. But I just never really expected much out of him, man. I really didn't. The year that we came closest, I want to say, was 2014 or 2013. Back when we had the defense with Sue. But again, that was that defense with Sue that I felt like got us there. And obviously we had that fucking call against the Dallas Cowboys, the fucking
get over the call, man. We had 5 minutes left in that game. We shanked the fucking punt. We had the ball back on offense in order to get there.
So it's the call, but it's also the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? The call happened. That's what made it even fucking worse. Like, come on, like, everyone's already, like, it felt like for sure they're getting dick sucked by the refs because of who they were.
Right.
But yeah, expectation band. I never really had him for, man. Like I said, the closest I had was 2014. The year where he went off and had the crazy stats. Matthew Stafford's a good quarterback. I'm not going to bullshit and tell you guys he was bad, but like, let's not forget that man had Calvin freaking Johnson, arguably one of the greatest wide receivers to like ever catch a football in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to help you out a lot. And at times I feel like that almost delayed how good he could be because he wasn't disciplined. He kind of just threw the ball like fucking wherever. And because Calvin Johnson had the width of a 2-car garage, he catch everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it delayed his growth a little bit. But I wasn't really disappointed because, like I said, I didn't expect much. Would I have wanted him to stay? I seen that come up too in the prep. No.
Right. No, it was time.
Yeah.
It was time on both parties to get the hell on. Like,
and
you
got
to know when to tap.
Man, like 2 first-round picks for these next 2 years.
And a third.
4 first-rounders and a third.
All right.
Give me that all day,
And a
man.
starting quarterback. Okay. So you wanted me to pull up the stats, man. And honestly, I made this statement because of their gameplay. But let's look at this, okay? Stafford played in a career 165 games.
Okay.
Jay Cutler played in 153.
Okay.
All right. Jay Cutler's winning record 74-79.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford 74-90.
What about the touchdowns, interceptions?
I'm getting to those.
Okay.
I'm getting to those. Completion percentage. Matthew Stafford for his career 62%. Jay Cutler 62%. Yards per attempt. Matt Stafford for career 7.2. Jay Cutler 7.1. Starting to pick up on what I'm saying here, Easy?
I want the touchdowns and interceptions.
Touchdowns. Matthew Stafford for his career 282. Now, mind you, he played 10 more games. Jay Cutler 227.
Okay.
Interceptions, Jay Cutler 160, Matthew Stafford 140.
Okay.
And
that's where I was.
But what are we doing here?
Cutler,
What are we? You want to say that they're not similar careers?
Nah, Cutler gave out interceptions like candy on Halloween.
So did Stafford early in his career.
Cutler gave out interceptions like nuns do virginity cards.
like Kennedy has purity rings.
Yeah.
But honestly, you look back on their careers, and those are damn near like numbers, right?
Yeah. I think the telltale for that for sure will be this year and how he performs in LA. If we see similar Matthew Stafford numbers and interceptions like woes that we saw here in Detroit, then for sure it's the same. I would be on board with that one.
But then also consider Cutler
off.
was the 11th overall pick. Stafford was the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's different variables that go into this, but at the end of the day, Jay Cutler is Matthew Stafford, and Matthew Stafford is Jay Cutler. If we're comparing, what more do you need to see? What more do you need to see, man? Who do you compare him to then?
Man. I don't want to offend anyone. Probably like a disabled Brett Favre.
A disabled Brett Favre. Jay Cutler. Once again, Jay Cutler. I've heard Phillip Rivers, but Rivers has made it to an AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
It's just when you're talking gaudy statistics, Rivers got those just like Stafford. But at the end of the day, Jay Cutler, Matthew Stafford, to me, similar quarterbacks. Not the exact same, but very similar in how they manage games, how their arm strength was what everybody talked about, and just how they couldn't get it done, period.
No. I mean, facts. I think people were more high on Stafford, too. It would be a little difference maker there. But numbers-wise, I mean, you're right. They're not far off. Interceptions, though, considered, but I feel like Jay Cutler was fucking...
Yeah, Jay Cutler, I mean, 160 interceptions in 153 games is not good. But 144 interceptions in 165 games isn't great either. So,
yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, if you look up pick sixes, by the way, too, Stafford's up there, like, all-time.
Oh,
numbers.
yeah.
Like
and
all time.
Those crush your momentum.
And there were some like bonehead ones, and I get it. I don't know how to, what kind of reads he's making and what's supposed to go down in certain plays.
Right.
But there are some where it's like, what the fuck was that? Like, did you not see the fucking giant 6'4" human being waiting for you to make that mistake? Like, Jesus,
yeah, just
man.
don't throw it to that guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, more Lions talk coming up next. Deuce Staley, he spoke to the media. Our own Corey Woods was out there talking to him, and he was kind of talking about the history of the Lions' run game. So we'll get into talking about that next right here on Woodward Sports.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate of
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back to the afternoon show or midday show right here on the Woodward Sports Network. I keep getting confused
The
with that.
almost afternoon show.
Yeah, the almost 20 minutes away from noon show. Joik Bell is on vacation this week. He will be back next week, and then we're going to have a whole new cast of characters on here, 11 to 1 for you on the Woodward Sports Network, and I guarantee you're going to like some of these guys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I like the new show that's going to be here 11 to 1 too, and I think it's going to be an interesting meld of opinions and people.
Is it?
I don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
I don't want to give away who it is.
I
but
feel like
just
I know who it is. I'm going to ask you off air.
Yeah, you can ask me off air, and we'll talk about that. So Deuce Staley said he isn't worried about the Lions' historic issues with their run game. And I don't blame you. You know, it says it's very easy for me to go back in history and find the bad things. It's very easy to do that. And around here, I think that's what people do. But I'm looking forward to the backs that I have here now, the type of system that we're going to run on offense, and we're going to put our playmakers in a position to make plays. Listen, if you're coming in to the Lions as a coach, you got to understand the history, right? You got to understand how shitty it's been, for how long it's been, and how much fans have endured, players that have been here have endured. So you can't look back because you got to establish a new culture. So I love Deuce Staley coming out and say that, but there's really no other option for him to say that. Like, hey, yeah, we want to throw it back to when they had Barry Sanders. And like, we can't. You can't. You'll never capture Barry Sanders in a bottle again. Yeah. So you can't, but I love his confidence. Where are you at confidence-wise in our running game?
Dude, I love it.
Okay.
I'm loving this. Like, the fact that, like, you don't really, you don't have to acknowledge the past because, like, it's the past. You know what I'm saying? You need to know your players, but, like, why wrench on something that you had nothing to do with and you're here to change?
Right.
Maybe point out what's bad, I guess, in the locker rooms, you know what I'm saying, or in like the film studies and stuff like that. Well, you don't have to do it to the public. You know, it doesn't need to be spoken out at all. We're all about moving forward right now, man. It's a whole different new regime, from GM to coach. I'm with it, man. I like the way Deuce Staley speaks too, man. Like you said, with confidence. And you see like his track record as well between Philadelphia and was he in Philadelphia his whole career?
As a coach?
Yeah.
He probably started somewhere else, but he was in Philadelphia a long time as the assistant head coach with Doug Peterson, and then they passed over him and brought in another guy after Peterson left. And they did him dirty in Philly, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, he should be a head coach in this league.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he made the lateral move to come here, because he knows that we will get him to that point. I don't think this is a long-term stay for Deuce.
Yeah. And there's the thing, too, is like, I feel like a broken record saying this, but like, so many people speak highly of these coaches we've brought in.
Right.
And it's got to speak to something. And it's not just people who are like just saying it because like they're there, like they're their boys and stuff like that, like a Bob Quinn, Matt Patricia type thing, which I even hate to put, let me knock on wood, whatever from that. But
don't you dare say those words.
Yeah. But like, also, like, these are like Jalen Ramsey, you know what I'm saying, was said Aubrey Pleasant Suite.
Right.
We have LaShawn McCoy, Juwan Howard, or Jordan Howard. All these people who like had some success or won some Super Bowls, like Garrett Blunt, all these guys, they've all had good things to say about these coaches. It's not just Deuce Staley either. It's all of them.
Well, and you look at the amount of coaches that we've been able to bring on to our coaching staff. Like, that's a compliment to Dan Campbell, that all these other people that are pursuing what Dan Campbell has as a head coach are willing to come here and support him. And that's a big deal. We really haven't had former head coaches as DCs and OCs before. Normally, if you're a head coach, you ain't coming to the Lions, period, right? To take a job beneath you, essentially.
Correct.
But with this new regime, you got, Anthony Lynn, you got, a bunch of guys that have hardcore coaching experience, and they come in to support Dan Campbell, who's a young coach who doesn't necessarily have all the experience. But that's when you're able to turn to an Anthony Lynn or, an Aaron Glenn and ask them, hey, in your last time you faced this opposition or last time you faced this situation, what did you do? How did it turn out? And so you can pool all that experience and put it under one head in DC.
And you're a fantasy guy too.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking at some numbers here. Miles Sanders, solid.
Decent running back, yep.
Deuce Staley product. Josh Adams, not so much. That's an ugly name there.
That took an ugly turn.
LeGarrette Blount, DeMarco Murray, LaShawn McCoy. I don't know if he was there in the Brian Westbrook days. I know that's when he was like tuning out from a player into a coach.
Right.
But like still, like any running backs they've had there, they've had work in some form or fashion. You know what I'm saying? They did fairly well.
Yeah, I like the. I'm going to be interested to see the scheme that we run on offense this year.
Me too.
Because from what I've been hearing from training camp, Corey reported it yesterday. I think one of your boys mentioned it too. Is that the defense looks on fire.
Yeah.
Defense is looking really good right now. Offense, and that's what you expect because offense takes timing, takes repetition, takes knowing everything.
You're learning the playbook.
Yeah, defense, you're just reacting to what's in front of you. So
Exactly.
the defense should always be a couple steps ahead of the offense early in the season, like it is now.
Yeah. Did Corey get to say anything on the offensive line in those situations? Do you remember?
Not yet. I haven't heard much reporting on the offensive line from Corey.
I'm curious how they look. I'm really curious about the defensive line too. Like I said, because how much they invested into it.
I mean, it's going to be interesting with that 3-4 defense that they're bringing. I like that because we're going to be able to bring pressure from multiple angles and bring pressure from different spots. I felt like last year, these were our 4-down linemen. You knew what gaps they were assigned to, and that's all you had to block. Like, we weren't sending extra. We weren't putting extra pressure on the quarterback. If those 4-down linemen don't get there, we're fucked. And what happened? One of the worst defenses in NFL history. So I like just changing it. Try something new at least.
Yeah.
But back to our running game, I'm very confident this year.
Hell yeah. And yeah, besides, other than Deuce Staley, and I apologize for taking it off track. That's the ADD in me.
Oh, that's fine, man.
I have faith in Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift as players.
Right.
No matter what system they're in. Like, I think these guys are extremely talented. Swift almost averaged, almost 5 yards a carry last year in his rookie year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, with the fucking terrible team.
And not getting enough reps, like AP was taking a lot of those rookie reps from him.
Yeah.
And then you can't forget Kerryon Johnson was a part of that crew last year. He's gone.
Yep.
So, yeah, Swift, to me, coming out of college, had the complete package, man. I was shocked that he was available in the second round to us.
I know his manager and stuff like that, and they're in the same camp as Alvin Kamara. So I'm guarantee you, they're working out, and he's getting tips from him as well.
God, look how fast that guy is. Whenever you see a camera angle that's on field level, you just get a different appreciation for how fast these guys are because the background is blurry.
Well, just like when you watch that last play right there, that red zone play, look how fast he hits the hole.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't even think that was his designed hole. Like, look, he was supposed to cut it up, then he splits outside a little bit.
Yeah. You ever wonder that too? You ever be watching a play and you see a hole that's there, but the guys they still go to design one? Does that ever piss you off? That's a good question for Joik actually. When he gets back.
Well, that's where the vision comes in.
Yeah.
Some guys see it, some guys don't. That's why Barry Sanders was so special. Play call's on the right. Barry's running left.
Yeah.
Because he was able to use his peripherals
He's
and
fuck,
see.
there's humans over there.
Right.
Fuck
He's
that.
wait, that guy could take an angle. That guy could take an angle. You know who can't? That fat guy over there. I want to go run around
Why
him.
you pointing my direction, man?
The fat guy right there.
What the fuck, man? No, I'm playing.
You want some more easy? If anybody missed it too, if you want to go back and watch it, Easy and I actually had a sanctioned wrestling match.
You bet on it too.
Yeah, you could bet on it on mybookie.com. What's up, Fish?
Well, you guys brought it up. WSN2.
Yeah.
Is that a thing or happening?
Art was supposed to take the lead on that. Is WSN2 happening, Art? I know your mic's a little down today, but a limp mic never hurt anybody.
Yeah, I just need time to train, and 7 kids. And
No, but I'm not saying you have to do it.
No,
Time to train. Did I train for Easy?
Well, no, and look at what happened to you. Anyway, I just need time to train because, Juicy Jeff and his hair and everything, I don't want to mess up his hair too much. But no, we were going to set up Jeff versus myself, and then we were thinking about doing Mikey TikTok versus Jeff. So, just busy around here.
That'd be an interesting match, Mikey TikTok and Jeff.
Oh man, it got interesting too because Art and I were stirring the guy. Art, the king of stirring the pot, and Juicy Jeff and Mike. It was getting it got a little contested. It was getting heated in there.
Nice, I love it.
I'm
so
gonna
yeah,
find those videos
So Art,
and put
throw
them
that
up.
together.
Jeff WSN2
TikTok.
happening soon. Get your tickets now.
What, you want me to throw it together?
Yeah. Why don't you work on that?
Okay, I will ask both competitors and see what they think. What's the best date? Is it September? Is that fair?
Yeah, we should do it on a Saturday though, not on a Sunday, because once football season starts, Woodward Sports is going to be wild,
last one
baby.
you had on a Thursday.
Yeah, maybe a Thursday we could do that. Just on at night during Thursday night football. As you know, during football season, do not talk to me Thursday nights and Sundays.
Don't you have softball on Thursday night?
It's early. It's early, so we're good.
Okay.
I made sure that was clear. Fish, I love that you got track of my schedule.
Thursday.
Huh?
Speaking of Thursday.
Yeah? Championship softball game Thursday? Ready for the Space Dogs to take it home?
I hope the trophy comes
Who's still
home.
in for Joyker? You're not allowed because you didn't submit.
Yeah, he's not. We could only play in the playoffs with who was on the roster, like during the regular season. So
you can't have one spot as a fill-in.
No, because then kids would just be bringing in ringers. Like 2 years ago,
No,
we were playing
just one spot.
We were playing a team, and they brought in a dude that played for the Angels, and it was like, wait, what the hell is going on? And the guy popped
Shohei
out. It was
Ohtani
amazing.
came in?
It was amazing, but. Let's get back on topic. Our running game, I think we're all looking forward to it, especially with the improved offensive line. I think that has more to do with the success of the backs than the actual backs that we have right now.
The only thing I could see hurting us is like it's well known that like that's going to be our strength. So the defense, the box is probably going to be stacked against us every single game. That's my one concern, but
that's fine.
Yeah,
stack the box.
If he's blocking like how we saw in that highlight yesterday, if Penei Sewell comes everything is promised, and Deuce Staley comes as everything is promised. Anthony Lynn, let's fucking go, baby!
I love it because you can just keep going and going and going. But yeah, to your point, stack the box, man. Give Hawkinson, a defender or a linebacker that's closer to the line of scrimmage, so we can run him right up the seam and just run that play. As you know, Jared Goff, great play action passing statistics when he was in LA.
Number one in the league, if I'm
Number
not
one in the league,
past
man.
4 years,
over like 115 QBR. Mm-hmm. So I'm not afraid if they stack the box because I think our offensive line is going to maintain, which essentially will help the running backs. Couple of other big signings yesterday in NBA free agency. We want to talk about those coming up next. But first, if you're looking to get signed and have a new job and start a new career, only one place for you to go. That is northwesterntech.edu. There is a HVAC school that works for you, a 10.5-month program. So you could literally start now, and by, what's the 6th month? June of next year, you could have a brand new profession in HVAC and heating and cooling. They make some good money too. So make sure you visit them now, northwesterntech.edu.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
And hello, welcome to the Midday Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. Thank you guys for watching, sharing, liking, commenting in the chat. I love when the people in the chat get in a debate. It's one of my favorite things in the world, especially, too, when it's off topic from what we're talking about.
It was like 3 topics ago.
Yeah, or we'll be talking about the Lions, and they'll be debating about, grilled cheese or something. It's like, wait, what the hell is going on in the chat right now? But honestly, we appreciate everybody in there. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the conversation. Art puts your comments up on the screen so everybody gets to see them. So thank you guys very much for that. We talked about who the Pistons signed in free agency yesterday, but obviously the whole NBA started free agency at 6 p.m. yesterday. Any move that stuck out to you more than any other?
Probably Kyle Lowry to the Heat.
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily. I don't really think it'll change too many dynamics of the Eastern Conference. I'm not a big guard guy as for terms of actual guards. Cade Cunningham's a guard, but he's also 6'8". So
right.
It's a big difference. But Lonzo Ball to the Bulls. That's cool. He's entertaining. I don't think it's gonna necessarily make them any better. Lonzo, all due respect, he's not a bad player by any means, but he hasn't really equated to a number 2 pick overall, in the NBA thus far.
Right. I'm not too concerned with him going to the Bulls. I do like the young core that the Bulls are building with Levine and him. And then, it's going to be fun to watch Lonzo and Cade go at it for the next 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
That is something that I'm really looking forward to. Just great point guard play back in the Eastern Conference. And, I think Cade could shut down Lonzo and just, fuck the whole Ball family.
Hey, shouts out to LeVar, though. He hit my intro for me.
Yeah, great. Great. Get the hell out of here. He bashed the city when we were the only team to give his son a chance.
See, though, for me, I didn't really get upset because he's almost like a WWE character. You know what I'm saying? Where he plays the heel and stuff like that. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, now where's his son?
They're all in the NBA other than LiAngelo.
Yeah,
But he's on G
that's
League.
who he dogged us for.
Where is LiAngelo?
But I mean, look, hey, he is what he is, man. He markets his sons. He literally hyped Lonzo up to a number 2 pick. Lonzo did not. I mean, all due respect to the family, but he did not deserve to be the number 2 pick of that year's draft. Wasn't Tatum in that one too? Or no, that was Ingram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, you're right. He hyped Lonzo up, but it didn't work for the other 2 brothers. It didn't work for the big baller brand. It didn't work for anything. Like, honestly, he's gone away because the shtick wore out. Like, it was cute for a while. Yeah, you could beat Michael Jordan one-on-one and all that stuff.
Well,
but
his job's done. They all made it. LiAngelo's obviously just not. You could say maybe that job's not finished, but like he probably saw, you're not gonna make it, son.
Right.
We should just go WWE together or something.
Yeah. Well, that was a big free agent signing.
Yes.
Chicago's looking a little bit better. But to your point about Kyle Lowry, I think that makes the Heat one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the East easily.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Heat were there. They were there already. I'm saying, like, I have tons of respect for Jimmy Butler and what he brought to the organization. Like, when he signed there initially, it felt like a Heat fit. Kyle Lowry kind of feels like that, too. Like he belonged type Miami Heat type dude, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I just don't see them, like, surpassing or uprooting, the Bucks.
It's going to be Brooklyn, the Bucks, and a handful of other teams that are trying to be them.
Do you see the Heat, like, up, doing the Bucks or the Nets now? Like, not really, right?
I mean, didn't they beat the Bucks to go to the finals 2 years ago?
It did. Giannis went out late in that series, though.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he was losing beforehand, though. I'm pretty sure they got swept, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it makes them a very strong team. What do you think about Chris Paul re-signing with the Suns for $120 million?
Hey, man, good for you, Chris Paul. Good for you. I'm mad at it because look at the Suns team. They weren't in the playoffs the year, without Chris Paul.
Right.
He brings that leadership, that mentorship to those young guards as well. Like Chris Paul's underrated. Like, yeah, the numbers may not be sexy as they used to be when he was like younger, but you look at Oklahoma City when he got dealt there, it was supposed to be like they were supposed to go to despair. They weren't supposed to be good at all. What ended up happening? They made the fucking playoffs in the Western Conference. You know what I'm saying? Like that's lit. And then he goes to the Suns, who weren't in the playoffs the year prior, and they go to the NBA Finals. Chris Paul's a valuable piece in this league's NBA. I think he's actually worth the money if you look at what he's been able to do outside of injuries, who stopped him every once in a while.
Yeah, especially with the Suns. My concern with the Suns is they're not improving. Mm-hmm. They're just staying the same.
Yeah.
Like, you're bringing back Chris Paul. You're bringing back Payne.
Yeah.
But you're not really improving the team in any capacity.
Yeah, it's because you look at the Bucks who just won the championship. They kind of did the same thing. I mean, they added Drew Holiday.
Right. That's kind of a big step.
Is that a big step from Bledsoe?
I think so.
Defensively, yeah, I'd say.
And offensively, you saw him turn it on in the finals too.
Yeah.
And that's really my only fear for the Suns is they're not improving their team anything. They're just adding to it, they're keeping the core together, which you hope those guys gel again and you bring them back. The Pistons had some success by doing that, bringing back your core for like 5-6 years. But at the end, you saw they could never really get over that hump. Yeah. And I'm afraid the Suns are going to live in that land for a long, long time. Kyle Lowry we talked about. Mike Conley signed a deal with the Jazz, 3 years, $74 million. And Duncan Robinson, love this.
Paid.
Love this story.
Got paid.
Duncan Robinson, highest paid, I believe, undrafted player ever.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that part.
Yep. 5 years, $90 million. $90 million to live in Miami. Right? And don't forget, in Florida,
tax-free state.
There is no income tax. So he's taken all $90 million to the bank.
Yeah, good for him, man. He's actually got a podcast, too. It's pretty good.
Yeah, what's it called? Who's on it?
Oh, man. It's him and like one of his buddies. I don't know the name of it, to be honest with you.
Another name that we talked about yesterday that was rumored to sign here in Detroit, Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
He signed with the Mavs.
Back with the Mavs.
So that dream is over. Tim Hardaway Jr. is not coming here. And I really didn't understand us signing a guard. We don't need any guard play anymore.
No. Yeah, no. So the one difference I'd say is, like I said yesterday, the shooting. That's what I wanted for the Cade style of play.
Right.
Killian's too. Like I said, they get guys in spots they're hot at. Well, we got that. We got Kelly Olynyk. I see Hungry Panda Studios was pretty upset about Kelly Olynyk, but I spoke on this show yesterday. I said we need some guys who can shoot, and we need some guys with size. And we went out and we got a combination of that in Kelly Olynyk. So
yeah, if we would have gotten Tim Hardaway Jr., I would have been very, very, very confused on what direction this team is going. Because when Dwayne Casey was in here 2 weeks ago, and we were discussing all the players that he has on the team. He brought up Jackson and he brought up Saban Lee in every conversation.
Yeah, Diallo too.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're running about 5 deep right now at the guard position.
And the thing too, bro, Tim Hardaway Jr. would cost so much more money.
Right.
Like, this is a little over $10 million. That's kind of like the average NBA salary. Like, people are like mad like it's big money, but like if you look across the board in NBA, that's like what Kelly Olynyk would get. You know what I'm saying? We didn't overpay by any
he's in
means.
that tier. Like, he's not a $30 million guy, but he's also not a $5 million guy either. So, we got him right in the middle of that. And people are freaking out because it's a 3-year, $37 million deal.
It's nothing,
But
bro.
it's really a 2-year deal because the 3rd year is the team option.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that's exactly what we signed Mason Plumlee to last year. So, Troy Weaver, like, it's okay. We have an out. If this guy turns out to be a bum, we package him, trade him, get him out of here.
Exactly. You never know what his true intentions are with that. Because it's a deal that he can move around. And, again, to the contract, I mean, the superstars of this league are making 3 to 4 times that.
Right.
So you got him making a fourth of that salary. Like, that's his worth. Like, don't be mad at, like, what we signed him at. Plus, who else? If the people who are mad about Kelly Olynyk, I'd like you to hit the chat with, like, who you think we should have got. Realistically. Don't say Kyle Lowry. Don't say, like, Kawhi. I'm saying, like, give us some realistic. Yeah, because I see you thinking.
I am trying to think, and that was kind of what I was thinking yesterday. Like, nobody in the range that we had money to buy was going to transcend our team.
Yeah.
Like, we were only going to add a piece with that $17 million. So they give 12 to him, and then, we signed a couple other players, which is great too. But, really Olynyk is the main focus of free agency. But, yeah, I'm looking at this list, and, if you wanted to go Andre Drummond, maybe you could go Andre Drummond, but, been there, done that.
Yeah.
Didn't work out. Danny Green was somebody that I was interested in. I like his game.
I think he's still out there, though, isn't he?
He's still, yeah, but we don't have the money now. Like,
see, but I don't think he's going to sign, like, a big deal.
Right.
Because he's older now, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Reggie Jackson's still out there if you wanted Reggie Jackson. But really, yeah, I'm looking at this list. Oladipo was somebody that I thought would be interesting if the Pistons wanted to look at him. Bobby Portis is somebody I thought was interesting that we could have gotten on the cheap.
I do like that, but we all knew he was going back to the championship team.
Why wouldn't he? They gave him a chance, and that's why he said he went there.
Yeah.
So, they tend to have a pretty tight team there. The one guy that I was shocked about yesterday that's still getting paid a lot of money, and former Piston, Derrick Rose. Did you see?
There?
No. He's signed up now. The Knicks reportedly agreed to a 3-year, $43 million deal with Derrick Rose. You think he's worth that much?
Yeah.
Do? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you have the right team, you know what I'm saying? The value's there with him. Back, I think a couple years ago, like the Lakers, the Clippers, all these teams were like vying to make trades for him because he's a piece that can help you win. He's worth it. I hate that he's spending more time in New York because I want to see Rose get a ring, and it's just not going to happen with the Knicks. Sorry, Knicks fans.
Yeah, Julius Randle is not enough to get you guys that ring.
But
he was very good when he went to New York. Like, he kind of had a rebirth of himself there and was actually able to put up some decent games and some decent stats. So it's so funny, like Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose. We hate Blake Griffin, but we love Derrick Rose.
Yeah. Well, the difference, Blake Griffin, he got bought out. Derrick Rose, we got something back for.
Yeah, but at the same time, they were both like aging vets on a team, holding up minutes from our young guys. And, I get it. I think the way Blake left and
fuck Blake.
And what happened to Blake after he left and how he turned into Superman is what really pissed everybody. Like, wait a minute. You couldn't even play 10 minutes here. Now all of a sudden you're grabbing dollar bills off the top of the backboard because you could jump out the gym again. What the hell's going on?
Playing defense, like fucking playing a role rather than trying to be like the star. Like, come on, dude.
Getting alley-oops. Like, that was so weird.
Don't put the beloved D Rose on that guy's level, man. Fuck Blake Griffin.
Hey, man, they were both our vets last year that we got rid of to lead us to the most successful non-tank tank in the history of the NBA. Think about that, man.
It was the honest, it's the sexiest way to do it.
Right.
We were competitive with the teams that you want to see us be competitive against, and we beat the teams that we should be beating. We took some L's too, obviously. We only won, 17 games or 23 games?
We won 20.
Yeah, 20 games.
20 and 52 last year.
Look, I just fade for Cade. Mission completed.
Right.
Success.
Got Cade. We got Cade.
Yeah.
Well, that was so fun during the draft party. Like, leading up to the draft party, everybody's chanting, "We want Cade. We want Cade." And then once we drafted him, it was, "We got Cade."
Yeah.
It was cool to be able to transition that middle word to now he's ours.
Speaking of Cade in the draft, did you see what Jalen Green said?
No, what
Post
did?
draft?
Oh, about Detroit?
Yeah.
That was a couple days ago, right?
Yeah, it was immediately after he got drafted. Do you have that in there, Adam? Or
Oh, Adam's in there. Holy shit! I didn't even notice they switched. No, I know I have the video for that, right, Kennedy? Yeah.
Was that whoever passed up on you was going to pay. So tell me, send a message to all those teams that do not have Jalen Green in their squad.
I'm sorry for y'all, because I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep getting better every day. I'm going to keep perfecting my craft. And every time I step on that floor, Detroit especially, so I'm coming.
First of all, the reporter kind of set him up there. All
For
the
sure.
teams that passed on you, there was only one team that picked before them.
exactly. Yeah.
So like, she literally could have said, you got some shit for Detroit next time you play them.
Yeah.
But honestly, when I look at Jalen Green, and I'm just going off appearance now and what the dude wore to draft night, that dude would not fit in Detroit.
Dog, you can't call it the city of Detroit dressed like a freaking Soul Glow commercial, bro.
Right.
Like, what are you doing right now? Like, you don't call it the hardest city dressed like that. Like, it's just, this is not a movie you make.
Yeah, if you've ever seen Def Jam's How to Be a Player, he looks like the great uncle that gives the advice. Like, this is the old as shit, shiny suit syndrome. And honestly, I think I made the comment draft night. Like, if that guy got drafted here, he'd be robbed in a minute in Detroit.
Oh, for
but
sure.
then you see Cade, and just cool as hell, you know, a little black turtleneck, nice suit coat, putting on, you know, the buffs.
Yeah.
And it's just like Cade has soul.
Yeah.
Cade is like Motown already to me.
Cade has soul. Jalen Green has soul glow. that's the difference.
And honestly, I was rooting for Jalen Green. Like, I didn't know anything about Jalen Green except of what I watching film on him.
Yeah.
Kid's got game. Great scorer. Above the rim player. Athletic as hell. Love him. Love every bit about him. But now I hate him.
Do you think he had a pair of buffs in his pocket just in case?
Fuck no. He has no idea what buffs are.
Yeah, buffs actually wouldn't even go with that, what he was wearing, I feel like.
No, you need, like, he looked like a magician.
Bro, you see the pants too? They're like bell bottoms. I don't know if you guys like caught
Yeah, I did
that.
see the bell bottoms.
Yeah.
Kennedy, what do you think about his comment about Detroit?
Easy and I were texting back and forth about this last night, actually, and I was like, honestly, he seems like a little bitch. Like, I'm glad he's not here. That was a whiny, annoying comment, and I wouldn't have liked him. I think the difference between him and Cade was completely how they handled themselves. The whole time we were seeing comments coming out of Green that was like, I want to live in Detroit, like blah, 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 all of this, and then how fast your tune changes.
Right. Sell out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he wasn't I want to be in Detroit. It was I want to go #1 because I want everyone to think I'm the best. And I don't mess with people that have that mentality.
I don't see him being able to lead a team to a championship.
No.
Facts.
Honestly,
Facts.
like he may mature over time, which I could be completely wrong. But when I see Cade, I see a leader. I see somebody that grown men will galvanize around. And like we discussed earlier with our Mount Rushmore topic, like Cade is already the lead dog in this city. So when he shows up, people are going to sit up. People are going to want to listen, and people are going to want to be a part of the culture that he's creating here. And like, I can't describe it though. Like, how do you describe soul? You know what I mean? Like, just the cool, like Motown.
Heart,
like,
I feel like is almost like.
Yeah, I honestly, he's got that thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but he has that that really makes him fit here in Detroit.
Yeah, and I think it's like a quiet confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where when you're not as good as you want people to be, then you're talking about how good you are and you're throwing it in people's faces. I should be #1, blah, 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 blah. Where Cade's like, I'm going to let my play speak for itself. And I thought that was the big difference for me.
Yeah,
And that's Detroit.
Yeah, and like she said too, like Jalen Green's like, oh, I want to live in Detroit. Cade took it a step further and embraced the culture. He's like, I've been listening to the music. You know what I'm saying? I like the way they carry themselves, like the way they dress out. Like that just shows you like the level of maturity and intelligence he is above Jalen Green. And no offense to Jalen Green, but Cade's just that guy, my guy.
I don't care if I offend Jalen Green anymore.
No.
Get the hell out of
Dude,
here.
fucking flip
Talking
grease
about
at me?
Detroit like that. Keep the name out your mouth. But to your point, like that quiet confidence and that quiet, you know, like when you see Trick, right? He ain't the loudest one in the room because he ain't the weakest one in the room.
Facts.
But you know, you don't mess with that man.
Yep.
And that's kind of what Cade is to me. Like when I saw him, it's like, all right, he's poised, he's confident, he speaks well. You could tell he's measured and thought out. He's not a kid.
Yeah.
Like he's well beyond his years. Obviously, he has a daughter, which easy, you know, the minute you have a kid, it makes you grow up a little bit, right?
Bro, it gives your whole life a purpose.
Right.
Honestly, it was like what the hell was I living for before my son? Like I couldn't fucking tell you. Was it money? Was it like, I have no clue. You know what I'm saying? Now I have a son.
You're just wandering the earth?
Yeah, I really, you know what I'm saying? I truly have a purpose. It's like something to live for and like a legacy to leave behind, you know, or give something to or set up.
How old is your son?
He's going to be 2 on Halloween.
How old's Cade's daughter?
I'm not sure. She looks around the same age.
Yeah. I think she's about 2 as well.
Yeah, I think she's 2.
There we go. And, you know, like maybe they run into each other in high school, and next thing you know.
Hey, get that bag, baby. Hey, Bryson. I'm going to set them up.
All right, set them up, man. You know, set your sons up for success, too. You know, a lot of people angle their daughters to marry up. Let's get our sons to marry up as well.
Hey, Bryson, give me a 6'8" grandbaby.
So, yeah, I like the way that Cade handles himself. Jalen Green. Listen, he is what he is. Obviously, he's a flamboyant guy, and I don't think that would have worked here in Detroit. Like, even when Dennis Rodman was here, probably the most flamboyant player ever, he wasn't tattooed Dennis Rodman. He wasn't dyed hair Dennis Rodman. He was normal-looking Dennis Rodman. And then he went and did the freak show thing, which Rodman's still my favorite player, basketball player, Piston of all time. So I love the guy.
That make you like him more as you age? Because I feel like, how old were you when he was doing all the freak show stuff?
So when he was here winning championships with the Pistons, I was like 8 and 9. You know, so that was 90, 91, 92 in that area. And then once he went to San Antonio and did Demolition Man, like that's when it really started to go off the rails because he dyed his hair white and, you know, people just really didn't care. It didn't bother me, but it was also like, wait a minute, that's not the Dennis Rodman that I grew up loving.
Guy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's great. I mean, Dennis Rodman was entertainment. He married himself, you know. He'd fly out on weekends to smash Carmen Electra in Vegas, then go back and win a championship with Jordan. Like, the dude's a legend.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, dude is an absolute legend. A lot of teams taking an L right now, an early L in the NFL, and we're going to find out which team has it worse right now. And luckily, one of the teams in this isn't the Lions. We'll talk about that next on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hi, I'm David Hall from All Financial. With historically low interest rates and 5-star service, you could pay your mortgage off faster without increasing your monthly payment. Get started now at 248-308-5000 or chat with us online. Call hallfirst.com.
Morning, Art.
Good morning, D-Mac.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to the afternoon show or midday show right here on the Woodward Sports Network. I will get that right at some point in this damn show today. I'm pissed at myself for messing it up every time. My name is Stick. Got my man Easy up here on the desk with me. Joik Bell is on vacation celebrating his birth week. Not birthday, birth week, which, do you, man. If you could celebrate your life like that, go celebrate your life like that.
Hell yeah.
So he will be back on Monday, and then we will introduce the brand new 11 to 1 show for you. I've had people in the chat asking what the hell's going on and what are we doing. Guarantee you will like all of these improvements that we're making. And, you know, when Sean took his other job, it kind of caused us to reevaluate some things and that we were doing here and who could go where and how we could, you know, like I put it to D-Mac, it's like a line change. Yeah. So we're just shifting lines a little bit. And that's what we're doing here at Woodward Sports. So next week, big week for some new shows right here on the Woodward Sports Network, including The Bottom Line with Ryan Armani and Braylon Edwards. So I love this. Who came up with this question? Was you, Kennedy? Good question. Which team is taking the biggest L right now in the NFL through training camp? Which is crazy because pads went on today, and we already got teams taking major L's. One of them, obviously, the Colts. Carson Wentz is out 5 to 12 weeks. That is a pretty incredible span.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows exactly when or how he's coming back, but Carson Wentz is out. Or we can go to the Rams, who lost their what should have been top 5, top 10 running back this year in Cam Akers with an Achilles. And then we learned this morning that Matthew Stafford hurt his thumb on a helmet yesterday. So we don't know if Stafford's out and willing to play again. And then some self-inflicted wounds, the Texans. Deshaun Watson, pads were on in camp yesterday, I believe, and he did not show up. Which is interesting, but obviously dealing with all the rape allegations and the sexual assault allegations that he has been dealing with. Right now, of those 3 teams, or if you have another one that you want to throw in there, which team is taking the biggest L?
It's got to be the Texans, man. You know how much, bro, they gave Deshaun Watson the bag, and now they're kind of stuck. They're kind of stuck paying that money until they find out what's going on. Even when he does come back, he doesn't want to be there on top of that.
Right.
So you have a guy who, they're for sure the L. Because the thing is, with Carson Wentz, you could say that's an L. Like, yeah, that does suck. But they gave away fucking a bag of peanuts for him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they gave away a second-round pick. It's only a second-round pick on condition if they, like, win a certain amount of games or lose a certain amount of games, however that works out with the Eagles and stuff like that. I don't really consider that an L because of what they gave up. Not to mention the Eagles are paying half the salary this year because of the trade. You know what I'm saying? Cam Akers, yeah, it's an L, but, like, I don't think any of us expected the Rams to be any, like I still think we have high hopes. Not high hopes. I should not want to use the word hope, but expectations for them. Not to mention, if you look by the numbers, Henderson actually has like better numbers than Akers when it comes to, like, rushing, touchdowns, all that. Akers probably a little bit stronger in the pass game, but for sure it's got to be the Texans for me, man.
Okay.
All day.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to be any of these teams right now, and I'm very happy the Lions have stayed somewhat healthy so far through training camp, and I hope what I just said does not jinx them in any possible way. So if that happens, please do not come back at me. I'm doing my best here. When I'm looking at this, the Rams are supposed to be in the Super Bowl this year, right? Like, that's what they mortgage their future for. Super Bowl this year or next year, or this thing's over, right?
Yeah.
We got to fire the coach. We got to reset the offense. We got to do everything we can to restart this thing. With Stafford hurting himself, the Rams are in a really rough situation right now. Because you know who their backup is?
Wolford or whatever?
Wolford is their backup.
Broke his jaw in the playoff game last year.
Exactly. Then Goff had to come in with his busted thumb and play.
With a broken freaking thumb.
With a broken thumb. But then I feel for the Colts, too. Because you bring in Carson Wentz. The Colts are also on the verge of being an elite team. They have that elite offensive line. Jonathan Taylor is in his second year. They're getting Marlon Mack back this year. So their running game is going to be something to fear, right? But now you're leading on Jacob Eason, the second-year quarterback out, I believe, Washington. Big arm. Dude looks like a caveman. Like, have you ever seen Jacob Eason?
I can't. I don't
His forehead is like, he looks like the Geico dude. The Geico caveman.
The
like,
Geico? Oh, for real?
Yeah, he is
disgusting.
You could just tell he's like, he's half Neanderthal, half man. And dude could throw the ball. Like, when I was watching his combine, dude could throw the ball like 80 yards in the air. But he's not Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
And the one thing that's been interesting for the Colts is you've been hearing a lot of Nick Foles talk.
I mean, why not?
Right.
The two pair well. They won a Super Bowl together. You know how it came apart. I mean, whatever. But you know, it happened.
Yeah.
I'd take the risk.
And then you look at the Texans. Texans are dog shit. They were dog shit last year. They traded away J.J. Watt. They traded away Hopkins last year. Deshaun Watson wasn't going to be able to save that team regardless, even if he played this year. So to me, the Texans are the last on this list, which has taken the biggest L. I mean,
you think so?
I think so.
Because they were already in L?
Yeah, because they were already horrible.
Yeah.
You know, like, how can you go, they went from worse to bad, or bad to worse, or...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got the fattest L on the list.
Yeah,
honestly.
I can see how you could angle it that way.
Stafford's coming back. It's just dumb. Like, he'll be back in time for the regular season. Akers ain't, but like I said, you look at the numbers. Henderson actually has better numbers than Akers.
Yeah, but use your eyeballs and watch the games. Numbers are great. They are what they are. But Henderson got a lot of those numbers earlier in the season.
Yeah.
By the end of the season, Cam Akers was taking over and absolutely crushing it.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Akers only had like one game over 100 yards rushing. I think he's more like, I think Akers, there's like a hype around him because of fantasy rather than like field.
That's why I'm all over him.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think it's more like fantasy than it is like field of play or play on the field.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's bad, but I'm saying he's not that detrimental to the team.
Yeah, he was great getting that ball out of the backfield, too, though, on some short slants and stuff like that. I really enjoy watching Akers run. I loved him when he was at Florida State. They had a horrible offensive line at Florida State, and Akers was like Barry Sanders here back in the day, just making things happen.
Yeah.
Whether he had to run through all 11 guys by himself, he was not going to be denied. So that's why I kind of got turned on to him.
Yeah.
And then, we just talked about the Colts and the Wentz. I got to go Rams, just because of their expectations.
Yeah.
Like, imagine being the Rams, trading for your new franchise quarterback. You give away 2 first-round picks. Now, that guy's hurt. The guy you spent a second-round pick on last year is hurt. I would be shaky right now if I'm a Rams fan.
Well, we're talking about hurt dudes.
Hurt people, right?
My ex is still not over me. He's hurt. No,
so the Panthers actually just had to waive a player. So their safety, JT Ibe, ? Is that how you say that? I have no idea. Was waived this morning because he completely took out one of their wide receivers.
Ooh.
So before his season/career even started, he's done for good now because this guy is now in the hospital. And then at Giants camp, a full-on team brawl started.
Yeah.
And their quarterback ended up at the bottom of the pile, and I guess coach is pissed, and they're all sprinting around now because they're in big trouble. So, I mean, we might be seeing a lot of injuries here shortly.
Yeah. Danny Dimes at the bottom of the pile, huh?
Yeah, not good.
Yeah. I talked about this earlier, though. I think the Lions are going to have a couple infights this year during training camp. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I honestly think it's a good thing because you create this friction. You got guys with passion that care about what they want to do. As long as at the end of the day they respect each other, shake their hands, and be like, hey, good fight. You've been in those fights before, Easy. I've been in those fights before. You hate each other for that moment, but then afterwards you respect each other because you know that person's willing to fight for their opinion too.
Yeah.
I expect a little bit of this in Lions camp.
Yeah.
All-out brawl where Goff's on the bottom of the pile. I don't want to see that. But I would expect maybe a Penei Sewell to, him and Levi mix it up as rookies or something like that just to show that they have that fire.
Yeah, but you never want to see someone from your own team send another person from the team to the hospital. So
No, hitting a guy like that and sending him to the hospital, I would love to see that hit.
I was.
There is video of it.
Is it?
I could get it to Art. Yeah,
get it to Art because I want to see what qualifies as a hit in practice to get you kicked off an NFL team. It's got to be pretty belligerent.
At my high school, I tried out for lacrosse, and I was actually kind of enjoying it. And I played so unorthodox. Everything about defending the guy, I did opposite. You're not supposed to face him, but I would. And because football, I was really aggressive. Well, in practice, I knocked our star guy out and
knocked him out.
I fucked him up. He was a little guy, but I had to run laps, and it was my probably 3rd, 4th week into it, and I was like, you know what, fuck that, I just quit. But I regret it, honestly. But yeah, don't hurt your teammates, long story short.
Yeah, especially your starting quarterback because, I like Joe Judge as a coach in New York. I think what he did with the team last year, pretty amazing because, you lose Saquon Barkley. Evan Ingram's never going to be what Evan Ingram's supposed to be. They really didn't have a great wide receiver core, but they were able to be competitive last year and strictly on defense. So I liked what Joe Judge did. Art, you got that video? I saw you over there working away. This is what will get you kicked out of an NFL team if you hit the wide receiver. Is this on Galladay? Or no, this is the Panthers.
This is on Kirk something.
Okay.
Kirkwood?
Yeah, I didn't
It's probably going to be subjective.
That's crazy they got it on video. It wasn't that bad.
Can you zoom in a little bit on that, Art?
It's the Maz chair. Zoom in.
It's probably going to be subjective based on team and coach.
I want to watch this again. So which one? Do we know which number he was? Because he got hit by 2 players.
35? Yeah, what?
I'm assuming it's the secondary hit.
The guy who hit high, probably.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the guy who hit high.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing here? It's football, right?
Yeah, that's
yeah, but
weird.
that guy could have been down. We don't know if that guy... Was that guy down for a long period of time?
Oh, he looks out.
He looks out.
Oh, yeah, he's out.
He looks out.
So that makes... So that makes sense now.
He had to be boarded off.
I mean, in the NFL, the guy would have probably been thrown out of the game. So...
Yeah, but to get kicked off a team, that's crazy.
Yeah,
honestly, imagine working your whole life up through college. He's not a star player by any stretch of the imagination, obviously, or they probably wouldn't have cut him in general. But to make it that far and get kicked off a team from playing extra hard and hitting a guy that's in your nature, that's a tough pill to swallow.
If you think about it, the coach is saying, okay, if this was a game, the guy would have probably been thrown out, and they probably hit... What? You don't think he would have been thrown out, Stick?
Maybe a 15-yard penalty. I don't know. In college, you're thrown out for targeting.
In college, you're thrown out for targeting, but I mean, they would have reviewed it for targeting in the NFL, and they could have been thrown out. So the coach is like, all right, if he gets thrown out,
In the
You're off
chat,
the team.
I
They
guess there
probably
was a
have strict
training camp
protocol.
fight in Detroit Lions training camp.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Melifontu and Amon-Ra.
Two rookies. What did I say?
Yep.
Two rookies going at it. And that's awesome. That's a cornerback and a new wide receiver doing everything they can to get open, to shut someone down. I love that.
To make an impact.
And that's a progressive fight. Like, that's good for team camaraderie and stuff like that.
It's a physical game.
Well, and
competitiveness.
Amon-Ra is going to run back to the offensive huddle, and guess what the offense is going to do? Pat him on the back, be like, yeah, way to go, get in the fight. Famatu is going to run back to the defensive huddle, and what's the defense going to do? Yeah, you're our man. We got your back.
Can I get?
You love it.
Can I get what you guys consider a fight? Like, when you say training camp fight, are you
Punching
talking
helmets.
pushing and shoving, or are you talking about punching the hell out of each other?
A swing. So when someone swings, or like someone grabs the face mask and rips them down,
Because
that type of stuff.
most brawls are pushing and shoving.
Yeah.
There might be a few punches thrown in there, but most of them are just.
I'm just talking any one-on-one
8 billion
combativeness
people.
really fish. And
Okay.
I love that they like literally. I picked the wrong two rookies. I picked Levi and Sewell.
Yeah.
But I love that the rookies are getting at it.
I can see Amon-Ra having some routine training camp fights up until he proves himself, honestly, just because he seems like that type of guy. Like, he's just that damn competitive.
Well,
like we said, when he got drafted, he's fucking passing, catching passes. Like, he's the ultimate competitor.
Yeah, well, and you put these two guys, you put a wide receiver and a cornerback up against each other. What are they doing? They're hand fighting off the line. They're pushing each other already. So it's only natural it's going to elevate into, hey, man, fuck you, blah, you know. I love it. I love it. That's the first reported fight from training camp for the Lions, and I absolutely love it. Two rookies going at it, showing us they got what they want. They got the fight. They're here to play. Dan Campbell was probably sitting there with his massive coffee drink that he was talking about this morning, just sipping on it, watching like, this is beautiful.
And fighting could also be shit talking, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, one guy could talk about his mom and they'll just argue, but they won't actually swing a punch.
Yeah.
They'll just yell at each
do you
other.
guys ever watch Hard Knocks?
Oh, I love Hard Knocks.
Did you see when they did the Texans? And I forget who Hopkins
D'Angelo
was.
Hall?
Was it Hopkins and Hall?
Yeah, D'Angelo
And Hopkins
Hall.
like,
Yeah.
I fear God, homie. That's the only person I fear. I fear God, homie.
Yeah.
I'm seeing him right now. Like, if you want it, come and get it. It was a great
And then
back
he
and
broke
forth.
his fucking ankles the next play.
Yes,
Yeah,
then he smoked him.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you, Kennedy, for reporting. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, normally you're not happy when your team's infighting, but the fact that it's two rookies lining up outside of each other and just beating the hell out of each other to get on the team, to show that they're here, they mean business, it's everything I wanted and more.
And for me, it verifies everything I thought of Amon-Ra, honestly. Like, that kid's going to be a stud for us. Whether it's by the numbers, just impactful, like, as a leader eventually down the line. Like, I think he's going to be
Oh,
great.
yeah. The footage of him coming off the line and blocking people is crazy. Like, I love his blocking ability as a wide receiver. And, everybody is high on him as our new slot. So we'll see. Is he the next Golden Tate here in Detroit?
Yeah.
Fish, why don't you tell him a little bit about our friend named Pam?
I will. Speaking of fighting, you won't be fighting when you win a golf trip or a golf outing with Darren McCarty. Public Adjusters of Michigan are giving you a chance to win a twosome in the third annual Darren McCarty charity golf outing this Friday, August 6th, 2021. The links to Novi today is the last day to enter. So go now. Maz will have the video later today. But today is the last day for you to enter for a chance to win. The event is totally sold out, so the only way you can win is to get in. To enter for a chance, go to woodwardsports.com and look for the PAM logo to register. PAM represents the insured for property insurance claims, homeowners, and commercial property, fire, wind, and smoke. They get you the money and they do all the work. Why wouldn't you want them to do it for you? Call PamFirst.com and be sure to go to WoodwardSports.com and register for a chance to win a twosome in the Darren McCarty Charity Golf Outing this Friday, August 6th. Today is the last day, so what are you waiting for? Go to WoodwardSports.com and enter August 6th, this Friday. Links of Novi. It's a great golf course from what I've heard. I have not played it, but from what I've heard, it's a great golf course. Woodward Sports.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Welcome back to the midday show. I nailed it. Right here on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. Thank you guys for being a part of the conversation, letting us know all the good things going on in the city, and just overall sharing, liking, and being a part of Woodward Sports. Make sure you download our app today. It is available in the Apple or Google Play Store. Just search Woodward Sports Network. This is a little bit of your wheelhouse, Easy. So there's a boxer. His name is Adrian Broner.
Yes.
He got in a fight in a nightclub.
Yeah.
Which, if you're a professional and you start beating the hell out of kids in a nightclub, I need to know what happened, and I need to know why it got started. Because, once you reach a professional, aren't these considered weapons?
Yeah. In certain states, if you're sanctioned to fight in that state, you're registering your hands as, legal weapons, so...
That's crazy.
It is.
I kind of want to do that just to say I did it.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, this guy has been kind of a punk his whole career. This is not new. He had an incident last year where he got in a scuffle with a waitress, a bartender and a waitress. He's just known for being kind of a punk, man. Adrian Broner, his career looked promising. He's coming from the Floyd Mayweather camp, Team Money team, and he just hasn't. Once he got a taste of money and a taste of fame, it's got to his head, man. It's been really disappointing to see, what's come of him since then. I'm sure Art can speak on this too, in terms of Adrian Broner.
Yeah, are you a fan of this guy at all?
I can't
He's
stand
more
him.
of a boxer than an MMA guy, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean, he literally got contempt of court because he was arguing with the judge last year. So I mean, the guy is he's a punk. My way of looking at it is in the world of combat sports, you're supposed to be respectable. You can have an ego and be full of yourself, but he is very similar to the sense of Floyd Mayweather, to where he has an ego, but he doesn't have the record of Floyd Mayweather. And he's had problems in the past with money issues. He's had problems in the past with jail time and everything. And again, it's a combat sport. You're supposed to be respectful, not a jackass out in public. So,
yeah, there's literally an incident where he lost a fight in ring after the decision was announced, and he's throwing a fit like a fucking child.
Yeah.
And threatening the announcer. This isn't the guy. This isn't even a judge. It was just a guy who was in there for the post-fight interviews, and he's trying to talk shit and start shit with him. It's bro, this is a 50-year-old white dude who's humbling from age, and you're trying to scrap him. What are you doing?
He's just trying to cover the fight, sir.
Yeah, he's literally just doing his job. There's a video I see. I'm gonna try to get it to Art. It's just, this guy's just kind of a punk, man. Once you register these, when you train, and especially at that level, that's really irresponsible of you, man. You can truly hurt somebody, especially if it's a street fight, because if someone falls and hit their head in the concrete.
Yeah, but there's also
You're
the
liable.
stupidity factor of drunk dudes in bars that are that guy's a professional fighter. I could take him. I could fight him. And then they try to push their buttons. The next thing you know, they get their head pushed back. And sometimes bad things happen to good people.
No, for sure.
So that's why I said I need some context on why this. If he's walking around bam, bam, punching dudes out of nowhere for no reason, then the guy's a complete dick. But if some dude was trying to test his mettle and the dude got what he was asking for, I don't feel bad for him.
The thing is this isn't the first incident that it's happened with him at a club or at a bar or anything like that.
Yeah.
The issue is that in this incident it was just a scuffle, but it's a history of violence and a history of being a jackass. I see on here the Kennedy put on the prep, if you could have one MMA fighter or boxer with you to get into a bar fight, I think that's a great topic, because there's plenty out there that would be good to have. Obviously, Mike Tyson or Francis is a good.
So you're talking a boxer to have on your side, not somebody you actually fight.
No, we would all get our asses whipped by 135ers in this room. Honestly, even Mando Gutierrez, who was at the watch party, the dude is shorter than me and skinnier than me, and he would annihilate each and every one of us. As far as a fighter, I would have to go with Justin Gaethje, because he's built as a drunken brawl guy. But again, it's fighting, man. I mean, that's what's scary about when you have a professional athlete like Adrian Broner out there. One punch, you hit the concrete, you could kill somebody.
Right.
It's embarrassing that he's a professional acting like this.
Well, that cop that punched that dude in Greektown, what was that, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Dude, he punched him right in the face, and then his head hit the cement behind it. It was oh, man, you could have killed that dude.
Yeah.
But that's a good question. If you had to take one person with you into a bar to handle fights, who are you taking with you, Easy?
Oh, it's Francis Ngannou all day.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy's knocking professional fighters into space. Give me a human? There's no chance. Absolutely no chance. Yeah, exactly. Art, can you find that video of Joe Schilling?
Yes, I can.
That'd be a good stick. You like that one. This one was scary, too. Who are you, Kennedy?
I think I'd take what's her name, Irene Aldana. Is that her name? I'm taking that chick with me because listen, people are gonna look at us and be like, these two little bitches are tiny, and then she would just kill them. I mean, after I watched that fight of hers, I am like her biggest fan. She is my queen because she has like the ideal body where she's like jacked, but she doesn't look super scary. But then like when the clothes are off and it's just a sports bra, you're like, oh shit. Like, yeah,
oh, shit.
she could
Look
kill
at
me.
You, girl. No, I'm playing.
Yeah. Love her.
Love her. Have you ever been in a bar fight, Kennedy?
I've been in a not a bar fight, but a football house party fight.
Football house party fight? What did that entail?
I was blacked out, and I guess I heard this girl call me white trash, so I looked at her and I said, "You want to see white trash?" And I punched her in the nose.
Did she? What happened after that?
I snapped out of it because I was held like this, and the entire football team was surrounding me, and I was pinned up against the wall. And my friend Austin, who was on the football team, had me under my armpits, like picked up, and he was like, "You need to calm down. You need to calm down." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I didn't even know I did it. So, alcohol is a bad thing.
You blacked out and started punching bitches. I love it.
She called me white trash.
So I showed her what white trash does.
Yeah. Everyone was like, it was honestly, I'm so glad you that came out of your mouth because it was like iconic. And I was like, I'm very embarrassed about this, but later, now it's funny. But that girl was scared of me for a
Who's
while.
the one person you're bringing in to make sure that you clear house?
I just said ding dong. It would be Justin Gaethje. Like 100.
Did he say Gaethje? Did anybody hear Gaethje?
Yeah, Justin Gaethje as like you. He's been knocked out before. So an example was UFC 218 in Detroit, where he got kneed to death almost by Eddie Alvarez, and he still was like wobbled and making it happen. He literally fights like a drunken monkey. So yeah, that would be him. Yeah.
Who's it for you?
I'm gonna go old school. I'm gonna take Kimbo Slice with me.
Yeah.
If we're talking bar fight,
yeah.
Like I mean, that guy, he's backyard champion, just beast of a dude.
Bare fist backyard.
Bare fist, like he's ready to throw down wherever, whenever.
Oh,
like I watch those backyard fights with him, and the guy is just like he's rock solid. When he hits a dude in the side, they feel it and they drop.
Just sounds like gross, man. It's like that, like the punch. You know what I'm saying? The flesh, like.
Yeah, here's the clip of Joe Schilling. So Joe Schilling is an ex-Bellator fighter. This kid in the video with the tie and the white shirt was acting like a jackass. He was making racist comments to the busboy. He's now in the process of trying to sue Joe Schilling for this punch right here.
He's got a kickboxing world champion too.
Yeah. So there he
who's
is.
that guy?
Just random drunk jackass. Now here's Joe Schilling walking by. He bumps into him. He moves him out of the way. Says, "Oh, excuse me." The guy says something. He turns around and good night.
Ooh! We hit him with the combo.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
Joe
saying.
Schilling's a bad motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. Like the professional fighters, like to beat up like this one. I mean, the context, like you said, I don't know there, but like even Joe Schilling, come on, man. Like you can restrain that guy. Without
honestly, though, you watch the video. The guy like flexes on him like he's gonna punch him.
So it was a history.
So like this is the exact situation I'm talking about. Like if you think you're a badass and you can flex on a guy and like fake punch him, this guy's natural reaction is to punch back when he sees something.
Yeah.
So the context behind this, though, was that Joe Schilling was just at a random bar, which he looks like a normal dude. Like, he looks like a guy who just rides motorcycles.
Big,
yeah, he's big.
Yeah.
But he was at a bar, minding his own business. This guy was drunk, belligerent, saying the N-word to the busboy, who was African-American, singing rap songs with the N-word in him, and just he's a history of being a douchebag. Joe Schilling walked by him. He smarted off, flexed on him, as you saw in the video, which I'm glad that you've seen that because there's a lot of people in the comments that were like, oh, Joe Schilling's just a bully. And it's like, the guy fucking flexed on him. Like, you don't flex on an MMA fighter.
You don't fake punch a real puncher.
Yeah.
You just don't do it.
Yeah.
But as a trained fighter, though, like he definitely had the ability to restrain him without the strikes, I will say. But I mean, you love to see jackass get knocked out either way, though.
Right.
I'm
this is my favorite clip to watch.
Where Adrian Broner is more of like he's like the punk instigator. With Joe Schilling, you know, I mean, Jesus. That's what I'm saying.
Night.
The responsibility of a trained fighter, like you can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
So a lot of them don't. He could just choke them out, and then it'd been like the same, like justice, I guess.
Right.
It's funny because I literally had this conversation with my dad the other day because my dad and D-Mac kind of go way back, and I was like, did anyone ever try and like mess with D-Mac when you guys would go out?
Oh, I'm sure.
He was like, all the time.
Yeah.
And D-Mac would always have to be like, well, you're put in such a pickle because people are like, oh, either I'm going to, like, D-Mac's going to punch me and I'm going to get this bag, or I get to say I knocked out Darren McCarty, like the biggest fire on the. And it's like, yeah, that's such a horrible place to be put in. Like, these normies need to stop being assholes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys want to see if they're as tough as D-Mac, and you're
Right.
not. Like, it's just simple. You're not.
Those are two people I would not fuck with, is Broadwell and D-Mac. If you don't know, Broadwell does karate every Saturday.
Are you
And
kidding
your dad
me? No,
trained
he
jiu-jitsu
doesn't.
too. He doesn't?
He does
said he did.
cycling.
Oh.
Little different. Well, speaking of dads.
Hey, don't underestimate cyclers. I mean, they're riding 230 miles a day for 21 days.
That is true.
not my
They're
dad.
cute little like bike shorts. Come on, man. All jacked up on EPO.
Well, speaking of dads, the Detroit Lions have a new member of the Pride, and we are going to talk about that coming up next. But first, Easy, tell them about my bookie.
NFL season is about to start. If you're one of those guys, you're like Art, you're on the 10-7 bandwagon, limousine, whatever you guys are riding over there into this year's regular season, make sure you head over to mybookie.ag, because the Lions will be underdogs in plenty of games. And make sure you use promo code Woodward and match your deposit up to 50%. This is Woodward Sports. You're watching the Midday Show.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Oh, I think so.
Welcome back to the Midday Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. And not only are we welcoming Dan Campbell to our pride here as part of the Lions fandom, Dan Campbell is also the man. We love him. And Cody Campbell. Kennedy, why don't you describe who Cody Campbell is and what he's doing?
So, Coach Campbell's kids are all over TikTok,
Yes.
which is great. Hyper and Cody, both of them. But Cody's been really pumping out the Lions content, and so this TikTok that Art has is him talking about that he was out at training camp the other day. So it's his experience. He said it was great. So.
Awesome.
I just want to make a quick TikTok to all the Lions fans out there, especially the ones that were able to go to training camp today. You guys absolutely killed it. You guys were loud. You guys were energetic. When a big play happened, you guys cheered. And you could tell the energy at the practice was amazing. At least I thought it was amazing. Everyone out there was just competing their butts off. So it was absolutely fun, and it's only going to get better when these pads get on. There's a little bit more hitting. But no, you guys are an amazing fan base, a fan base that I am extremely grateful to be a part of. You guys have been nothing but kind and welcoming, and I really can't wait to see this journey and where it goes. But yeah, no, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an appreciation talk. So thank you, and let's have a hell of a season.
I love it, man. Like, not only has Dan Campbell like inspired everybody, he's got his kids bought in. And you know, when you're a dad, having your kids think you're cool or your job is good or wanting to support you at that age, like you want to stay away from it. But his kids are all in.
That's a great point. They're at the age where like your dad's like lame. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No matter what he does.
Yeah. But he's so much of the fucking dude that they got to root for him and what he's got going on. They're going out. He's like a rock star in Detroit right now. Honestly, nationally too. People love Dan Campbell.
As they should. I mean, the energy that this guy brings and the culture reset that he's done so far here in Detroit really sets him apart. And then, like you saw his daughter doing TikTok videos. Yep. She's great. And then we see Cody just kind of, hey, fans, I'm here. I love you guys. Want to be a part of this and, you know, rooting for the team. I think that says a lot. If you can bring your family together like that, you're probably going to be able to bring a team together like that.
And Dan Campbell's so much of the fucking man. I bet that Cody Campbell's like 8 years old in that video.
that is newborn Cody Campbell.
yeah, it's just newborn.
Well, Kennedy, how do you feel about that? Do you think, obviously you put it in the prep, so you think that's a cool thing, right?
Yeah, I think it's awesome that his kids are bought in. I mean, I feel like it's easy to probably cheer for the teams that you grew up with or like who your dad was with when you were younger and things like that. So the fact that they're kind of like putting that aside, whatever players they looked up to and loved before, and they're all in on the Lions. They've always got their Lions gear on. They're showing up to these camps. I mean, I think it's awesome. I think it's great.
Yeah, it shows that, families welcome also, because there's a lot of places that, hey, this is where you work. You don't bring your family here. Like, I've worked at places like that before, and it's awful. Like, honestly, it's awful. It's like, wait, I can't bring my mom here to check out where I work, or I can't bring my cousin, or, whatever. And just to show that to other players, and like they did with Blau's wife, Melissa, running in the Olympics.
That was super dope.
Yeah, they keep creating this culture of family, having each other's back, and understanding that everybody is in this together, whether you work for the team or you don't work for the team. If you're Dan Campbell's kid, you're a part of it. If you're Brocker's kid, I don't know if Brockers has kids, but you're a part of it, and stuff like that. So I love the culture that he's building here.
Yeah.
Can I ask who's killing the TikTok game more, his daughter or his newborn son?
Newborn son.
I've seen more of Cody recently. At first, it was just Piper. So I think Piper had TikTok first.
Okay.
So, and then Cody was like, hang on, just getting a little bit of clout here. Let me make some Lions content.
Yeah.
So he's been great with NFL-based content, and he's done some, listing his favorite players from different teams and building teams based on whatever the filter gives him and, things like that. So I really like him NFL content-wise.
Yeah.
Where Piper, I think, is more just hey, this is me hanging out with my friends kind of content. So depending on what you're looking for, they're all killing it in their own way.
Love it. What's up, Art?
Here's my question. Why hasn't Woodward Sports hired him yet? We hire everybody in Detroit. Can't we just hit up the Campbell kids and just be like,
Honestly,
hey, you
probably
start
love
tomorrow?
It. I don't know how old he is, though. It might be illegal. Not
Kennedy,
sure.
you want to slide in the DMs?
Once again, depending on how old he is.
3 days. 3 days old.
Yeah, he's got to be at least 18, right? The kid looked 18.
He looks older, but you can't.
Yeah, with those Campbell jeans, you never know.
Dog, TikTok and internet's so dangerous because you fucking never know.
Who are you telling?
Dog, I know. That's what I'm like. Yeah, I'm staying away from TikTok.
Yeah, you're scrolling through. It's like, all right, good looking girl. Will be good looking in 7 years. That's the awkward positions you get caught in on TikTok.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah.
So I watch dog videos. That seems to be safer.
Dog videos.
Much safer than the cute face in a big bank. That video always winds up in my timeline somehow.
Dog, you gotta stay away, man. You don't know.
You don't
really
know.
Don't.
That
It's
big bank
fucking
may be a
scary,
young
man.
bank, and that young bank will put your ass in the old jail.
Yeah.
So don't be messing around with banks.
No mas.
Yeah, I'm not a bank robber. I'll tell you that much. Speaking of bank robbing, Odell Beckham Jr.
Nice
spending,
transition, bro.
Thank you, man. Spending a ton of money. He didn't have to rob a bank. He earned it playing football. But we want to talk about how much he spent and what he spent it on. Coming up next on Woodward Sports.
Would you like to win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time?
Then watch as we turn this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
Watch the Call Sam Chopper Shop on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Welcome back. It is the midday show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. Don't forget, got a new show starting August 12th. It's going to be amazing. It's called The Bottom Line with Ryan Armani and Mr. Braylon Edwards, formerly of University of Michigan.
I can't wait to see the awkward position Braylon puts Armani in because he speaks so bluntly and truthful.
Right.
It's gonna be hilarious.
Armani's a pro. He'll know how to handle it.
Oh, for sure.
It's gonna be a lot of fun though. That starts August 12th, 2 to 4, right here on the Woodward Sports Network. So Odell Beckham, this guy behind me right now, it says his new teeth look amazing with ice-out cross on his fang and the back of his teeth on both sides infused with gems. There you go. You can see it up on the screen right now. We are told Conley, who made the icy teeth for Post Malone and Chris Brown, did a 28-unit full mouth reconstruction, and it carries 13 carats worth of diamonds.
Crazy.
$1.8 million he spent on this. $1.8 million on your mouth.
And to put them on the
Inside.
What, you're going to accidentally eat it? I feel like it would chip and then I'm swallowing millions of dollars on accident.
I don't know.
People's veneers come out all the time. Like,
really?
Yeah.
I could think of so many other things to do with $1.8 million,
Yeah.
and none of them would ever involve fake
Teeth.
diamond out teeth.
If I had bad teeth, I would for sure get like an Invisalign braces thing with my money. But
that's
like,
not 1.8.
No, that's no. Yeah, no.
So
Crazy.
Kennedy posed the question, what is the most ridiculous thing you've ever spent money on? And this is going to be tough for me to answer. I got to be honest with you. But easy, what? I mean, you kind of just blew some money at the golf outing, right?
I did, yeah. That doesn't even take the cake, though, at all.
All right.
I think, did you get the photo I sent, Kennedy?
I did, yes. I sent
This
it.
bad boy.
Oh, your Thanos tattoo.
Yeah, Thanos costs, I don't remember the exact amount, but I want to say around $3,000.
$3,000.
$3,000. And I actually, fresh off a vacation from Hawaii, had to fly out to California to get them. So it was, the thing was, like, the gentleman who does this work, Steve Butcher, honest to God, I admire him like as an artist.
Right.
Like the shit that he can do.
Right.
On like skin, which isn't like a regular surface, it's not paper. There's no eraser. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you guys hit this guy's Instagram page, it's phenomenal. And when I slid in his DMs, I expected to like never get a response. I just gave him like 2 things that I wanted. I don't remember what the first one was at the time, but the second one was Thanos. I was like, fuck it, let me just shoot my shot. And he was like, he's from New Zealand. He's like, bro, he seemed like one of those voice messages. He's like, I want to do that tattoo, mate. He's like, I'm coming to America in October or whatever the fuck it was. And yeah, we linked up, and he's actually my boy now, dude.
Nice.
And he texted me Merry Christmas before I texted him. He's like, he's a good ass dude.
How many hours did you have to sit for that?
I want to say 12 hours. It was 2 sessions.
So that's, I mean, honestly, that's not bad. Like
wasn't
price
bad.
wise, because what are you talking, like $250 an hour, something like that?
Yeah, and to be honest, like artwork itself is up in the millions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I look at this guy, I truly think of his work as art. And the fact that I got to meet him, you know what I'm saying? Like I admire this guy and like what he does. Like it was super cool. Like he's my boy now, you know what I'm saying? Like and the 12 hours went by fast because he was just popping edibles in my mouth. Like, you know what I'm saying? He actually used like a CBD cream too. The tattoo didn't hurt at all. It was a wild experience.
Nice. Kennedy, what's the thing you blew your money on?
I'm horrible with money. You can ask anyone related to me. When I'm stressed, I shop. So, which is all the time, you guys know. So, but I don't know. The dumbest thing, like I got these 2 rings the other day when I was stressed out. These 2, and they're just literally plain silver rings.
Casually
but this
flicks off
one
the
is
camera.
Dolce & Gabbana, and the other one is Givenchy. And like, why?
Right.
Why?
How much?
So, they're
Every
a couple
basic
hundred
girl
each.
I grew up with had those Tiffany
So,
stuff.
yeah, I had to have my Tiffany choker when I was younger, but I didn't buy that one. These were like my own big girl money, so.
Yeah.
But it's just like silly. But I'm like, you're wearing these rings every day if you spent hundreds of dollars on them, and they're plain. So I was like, you know what? They're not going to turn my fingers green. I'm going to wear them enough to make them worth how much I
Like
spent.
you're still trying to convince yourself.
Yeah, this is me.
All right, Art, what's the dumb thing you spent money on?
To be honest with you, what I end up doing is I'll buy something. So, like, I bought a Nintendo Switch Lite one time and returned it 2 weeks later because I felt guilty.
That's smart, though.
No, but I felt guilty about it because, like, then the week after I'm broke. And I'm like, I mean, my kids are always taken care of and everything, but like I'm broke personally.
Right.
So I don't buy like shit. I'll buy tattoos every once in a while if I have money, but I haven't gotten one in a while. I don't like to spend money. Like I don't.
And that's why I said it's going to be tough for me because I'm like I don't spend money, dude. Like
Really?
I don't buy anything. Like honestly, I buy food. And that's
I wish
pretty
I
much
was you.
I pay my bills. That's it.
There's no like autograph thing or something like that you've bought that was like
Nothing that I think is like crazy. Like my tattoo that I got of my cat on my forearm here. This was $1,000.
Yeah. Wow, that's $1,000.
Yeah, that's why I asked you how long you were sitting because this took about 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
And it was $200 an hour.
Uh-huh.
But like you said, I sought this guy out. This is Matt Hockaday from Waterford.
Yeah.
His portfolio is amazing, and I wanted to get a tattoo of my cat. But I actually wanted it to look like my cat, you know, because the worst thing, like you get a Thanos, but it just looks like a melted dude.
Looks like what's the guy from McDonald's? The Nugget? The purple
Grimace.
Dude? Yeah,
Grimace. It looks like Grimace. Yeah, exactly. I didn't want that with my portrait of my cat. So that was a large spend for me.
Yeah.
$1,000 is nothing I would never like, but Yeah, like when I buy shoes, I buy them off the clearance rack. I never
Yeah,
buy
I
new
never got the
shoes.
shoes
Like
in.
I don't know. I'm the cheapest guy ever when it comes to this
Yeah.
stuff. So I think like back in the day, you know, probably just drugs. I guess is a good answer.
You could make money
drugs
back
is
on
a
drugs.
good answer because you just.
Nah, drugs is a good answer.
Yeah,
No,
Depends
I'm
what
saying
drug.
that's what I'm saying. It's a good answer because it's like you take it, it happens, and then it's over with, and you're like, well, there's.
Yep, I got memories.
Yeah.
And that's it. I bought memories, and that's it.
I will say, recently there's a pair of shoes. I'll see if we can find them. I know we're running on time. Travis Scott and Nike are collaborating.
Yeah, those blue joints.
On those blue ones.
Yep.
And
Ooh, I
I've got
should
like
call
the
'em up now.
notification on the sneakers app because you have to enter the drawing. So I have myself in it, my wife, and one of my friends. They're $150. I've never spent $150 on shoes. I don't even know how I'll get the money, but I want the shoes, and not to have them. I think Stick, you'll appreciate this. To resell them because
Yeah.
they're going for $2-3 grand right now. So it's like if I ever buy something, I'll hold on to it for a minute or two, and then it's almost like my brain is like, you need to get rid of this. You need to pay bills.
I actually bought these to resell, and it didn't.
And I didn't.
Didn't work in my
I love
favor.
this. I spent $3,000 to fly to New York and have dinner with my ex. Not a great choice.
What a fuck! Yeah, you
Yeah.
lose,
That's
bro.
horrible.
Did
Yeah.
we had the Rams and the Texans. Who had that? And put his name underneath the biggest L of the season.
Who took the biggest L?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Damn,
also
man.
speaking of that conversation we were having about who's taking the biggest L this season, the Colts just lost one of their linemen, I guess,
Oh,
in
man.
training camp.
Damn, that's one of their strengths. Honestly,
Yeah.
is the
Oh no,
offensive
that's a
line.
major strength for
and
them.
the defensive
so,
line too. Yeah.
Ugh, that's tough to deal with. Well, yeah. You guys ready to rock?
Ready
Tattoos
to
are
rock.
always worth it though.
Yeah, tattoos. If you're gonna spend it, I'm
They're
gonna
on you
have this
forever.
forever, right?
Exactly.
So I don't want it to look like trash. My first 18-year-old tattoo cost me $40.
That's cheap
Same.
as fuck.
Yeah,
Inflation.
But, yeah, $15 for a little Chinese sign, and then like $10 setup fee or something like that.
Yeah,
But,
then you tip them a couple.
yeah, it took all of
$10
it took
or
all of
something.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you tip your tattoo artist?
Always.
Do you art? I didn't even know that was a thing until like my third tattoo, and I felt bad. The guy never said anything though.
Well, yeah, they're not gonna say anything. Usually
true.
waitresses aren't gonna say anything either. But you gotta tip them.
Yeah, this guy looks like he would say something. The way he acted, I figured he would say something.
Well, coming up next from 3 to 5, we got the hook. Maz, D-Mac.
Why? There's
Fish.
What's
there's
wrong,
still,
Fish?
There's still 4 minutes left.
Yeah.
All right, Fish.
Drake
What's
Bell,
the
what
most?
are we doing here, Drake Bell?
Huh?
What are we doing here, Drake Bell?
You want to talk about Drake Bell? Fish, what do you want to talk about for 4 minutes?
I want to know the most ridiculous
speaking
thing
of
Fish bought.
China, I don't really buy much.
No one was speaking of China.
I mean, seriously, I don't buy much. I just buy it because my parents say you're getting this, and then I happen to get it. But I would choose to buy items that are like 2 cents.
No,
Right.
hold up.
I don't personally buy
or Fish,
any-
you still have, you and I talked about this earlier. You still have part of the bonus money that Chad gave you, right?
You didn't spend
I
it?
do. I have
Oh,
not
for the
spent it
longest
yet.
time, the accounting department is like, listen, he's got to cash that check.
Yeah.
And I did.
You did?
I did cash it.
What did you buy? Did you buy anything?
I didn't buy anything.
So you're just sitting on the loot?
Yeah. I don't know if I'll buy it.
What's the last thing you have bought?
Those shoes.
Yeah, I mean,
Lunchable.
I bought the shoes I'm wearing and the Pebble Beach jacket. That was almost off of like my parents were making me buy it because I wouldn't normally have bought anything from Pebble Beach.
Did your
I bought
parents pay for it or did
basically-
you?
No, they paid for it.
So you didn't
Because
buy
they
it?
insisted.
What is the
Correct.
last thing you bought, period?
Nothing. I don't remember the last thing I bought. Could
You
have
are
been like a
an
snack
interesting
or a
man,
lunch
Fish.
or something, but I don't buy very many things. But
All right,
speaking
Fish.
of China, because you talked about Chinese letters on one of your arms, this arm, whatever arm it is on. Speaking of China, they're under investigation for possible political stuff that they use in their cycling bike.
Shocking.
So they're under investigation. Speaking of China and the
Art's
Olympics.
such a dick.
They're always on the up and up when it comes to competition.
Also, Gwen Berry, the woman that turned away from the American flag, the hammer throw, she finished 11th.
Fish, I'm surprised you didn't bring up the 2 birthdays we have today.
There is one significant birthday we have
There's
today.
2.
Well, okay, the one I can think of is one. Tom Brady.
Yep.
It is his birthday today. Happy birthday to Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's a Leo.
Who was the other birthday, Kennedy?
Zach Wilson.
Oh, Zach Wilson.
So we have one turning 44 and the other one turning 22.
Zach Wilson was not on my list.
Wow.
So maybe the list is
Who
messed
cares about
up.
Zach
Wow, this is
Wilson?
great content.
We love his mom more than Zach Wilson. To be honest.
Yeah, Zach Wilson's mom's nice.
Yeah.
She very
When's
nice.
her birthday? How old is she? These are the questions we want to know.
Well, Fish, thanks for
But there's a
stretching
bunch-
those 4 minutes.
No,
It was
there's-
brilliant content. We definitely
I
shouldn't have
have-
got it out of here when the conversation was wrapping
I
up.
have a lot of content. You guys don't give a crap about any of the content. I'll make a mock shift prep on Thursday and Friday for all the great stuff that you guys
Ooh,
don't
take my
I
job,
like
Fish.
that.
That's fine.
Let's do a whole
I won't
day of
be able
fish
to
prep.
share. I won't be able to share any of it because you guys don't care.
Jeez,
but
I don't know.
I can give you some headlines. You guys don't give a crap.
Like, what do
but-
you think about the high volting
The high voltage.
Well, that's already done with.
Well, thank you very much, Fish.
But there's a lot of good news going on. We got the Lions. They dropped.
We're done.
Is you finished or is you done?
All right, how does this work? Gang, gang.
Perfect.